There it is, ladies and gentlemen. The start of Gibberpish 2019.
Woo.
It took a lot longer than expected, though. I will say that.
Hopefully that's not going to be an allegory for 2019 itself.
I think if that's a metaphor, it means erectile dysfunction. I'm not going to lie.
Welcome to the Gibberpish Podcast.
Well, this may be a troubling metaphor for our dicks in 2019, but we're here to talk Gibberpish, aren't we, Dom?
We are here. Indeed, in 2019, Happy New Year to my fellow podcast hosts.
Yeah.
Shaking hands.
First tweeted about 2 weeks in.
Yeah, 2 weeks in.
Never understood the importance of the first tweeting thing.
I always got told that I was good luck. That if you were the dark-haired child, and you came to someone's door. I don't know, apparently me and my two older brothers were always good luck.
But you're Scottish, you're statistically speaking going to be dark-haired.
Yeah. I never got it.
Yeah.
I just kind of wanted to. My thought when I was that age was just, it's 1 a.m, I want to go to bed. I've been up since 6, I want to go to bed.
That's the thing for me as well, as it was always...
Damn, that's delicious.
It was always first thing in the morning afterwards. Like, we would leave, like, the bells, 1 o'clock in the morning, you go to bed.
Yeah.
Wake up at, like, 7 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah.
Let's go visit grannies, let's go visit grandpas, let's go visit people.
Yeah, let's go round for far too much food at some relative's house.
That was what you did, that was first footing. But talking to, like, older relatives, they're like, no, you go around at midnight. The fuck?
Yeah, we did that. We did that quite a lot in my family. It would always be, the minute the bells would be like, because my thing was always, you'd stay up for the bells. Jeez, that is gassy. Don't even edit that out.
we should probably explain that Dom and I have cracked open some bottles of King Cobra, which is a double fermented beer, currently sitting at about 7.5%. I had a wrestling match with mine. Dom is having gas problems with his.
Yeah, it's good. I should also mention that, obviously, given the time of the year it is, everyone has New Year's resolutions. Mine was to try and drop some weight. Okay. Well, I made 2, both of which I think are fairly feasible. One, I'm going to drop some weight, and that involves drinking less Monster, which is going to be fucking tough for me. But it's actually been going not too bad. I've been drinking a lot more water, and therein lies the problem. I've had nothing fizzy for the past 3 weeks. This is hitting my stomach hard. It is delicious beer, but it's just kind of going, oh, you've not had anything carbonated in a while. Up it comes. And second was to get my driver's license.
All right.
So I'm finally going to. And the reason why this is kind of hit me, because I've always thought it was something that I would get to, but I had to renew the photo on my provisional.
Yeah.
That kind of hits home. It's been 10 years since I got my provisional. It's time to get that motherfucker updated. And then it just kind of hit me. I mean, at the age of 27, it's probably something that I should have got done already.
Yeah, I know that feeling.
And it's just, and because we live in different towns, it's buses and taxis are fucking unnecessarily expensive. Or
it's a 1 hour walk, roughly. Yeah. I did it this morning, actually. Went up to grab something left over from like Christmas and New Year's at my parents'. I was like, I need to go for a walk this morning because I'm not feeling too great. Left the house and he just bolted up the road. Yeah. I was like, oh man, this is an hour. This is an hour gone.
Yeah, this is an hour of my day just disappeared. But I think to combat that, until I get my license, when it starts getting into the sort of lighter nights, and when I start getting some more money behind me, I'm just going to finally get around to upgrading my bike and throw some lights on that so I can finally make it all roadworthy and shit. Yeah.
I actually forgot to bring this out. I got you, as an aftermath of last week's episode where there was a bit of an audio issue, found out that it was because your mic was facing the wrong way.
That sounds
not entirely sure how we did that, but I have since checked to make sure it is correct. Turns out there's little marks and stuff that you can see quite easily, and an idiot would miss. Which, in setting up the podcast, I immediately become an idiot because I'm like, I could do this, and this. And today we tried out using OBS capture software for the audio and physical, but for some reason I have no audio, despite the fact I've been streaming using this exact setup for the last 3 or 4 days with 0 hitches. Yeah. So
it's usually me. Maybe I have some kind of electromagnetic field that just surrounds me that cuts out certain but not all electrical equipment.
But the other thing we considered was that there might actually be a bit of an echo coming off you, just because I think the way we angle ourselves in the mics, like I put myself the mic, and then you're in a direct line, so you take some of the reverb away from that wall there, which helps things out. But notice that you have your mic at a slightly different angle than mine, and so I got a shield ages ago. Never had a stand for it, so I went and bought myself a big ass stand, which was horribly misdelivered. So I'll present to you your very belated New Year's / Christmas gift. So yeah,
Oh, cool. So, now, while Colin's setting this up, I think I just need to vamp. I'm going to put a bit of message on the Twitter. If you've got any New Year's resolutions out there that you're actually going to stick to, put them up on the Twitter. Let us know what your New Year's resolutions are. None of this bullshit. Oh, New Year, new me. I'm going to go to the gym. No, you're not. You're going to go there
my fucking gym.
You're going to go there for the first week. You're going to piss off the people that actually go to the gym, and then you're going to go back home, order yourself a Domino's, and then let the whole sad cycle repeat. Prove me wrong, motherfuckers. Prove me wrong.
More than happy to see the guys that prove you wrong.
Yeah. Fucking tell me about it.
If you see a big person in the gym, never shit talk that person. Don't even laugh at that person. No. Just let that person run on the treadmill. Let that person do stuff they've never really pushed themselves before.
If anything, encourage these people.
That is a person fixing themselves.
Yeah.
Let that person do their thing.
I will never shit talk anyone. The only people that I'm tempted to shit talk are the gym rats. When you see the gym rats in there and they're sitting there with 20 or 25 kilo in each hand and they're doing it, instead of doing it in unison, they're kind of right hand and left hand in it and just doing it out of sequence.
See, gym rats don't go that hard. Gym rats go for the 12s.
Yeah.
The 12 and 15 kilo dumbbells, and they're just sitting, flap away like 100 miles an hour, and then all of a sudden they're like, I'm done. Yeah.
Fucking shredded.
There it is.
God. All that bullshit.
And you do get some really shredded gym rats, but at the same time, fuck off, mate.
Yeah. But you find that most of the gym rats are, I'll give them their due, I'll say they're about 50%, no, it's 60% muscle, 40% Eastern European supplements. A lot of people just using whatever they can to try and make themselves buff. And she's, these are amino acids. They basically morph to anything in your body. Yeah, sure, but you're taking them with milk and porridge mixed in with a protein shake. All you're going to do is shit that out.
Yeah, it's creatine.
Yeah,
creatine's readily available from like Holland and Barrett's, and other like drug superstores like Boots. I think has it now. It's nuts. Yeah. Like, dude, that's not great for you.
No, it's really not great for you. Although
it works short term, but it does have long term effects.
Yeah. See, one thing I always looked to take for sort of meal replacements was protein powders.
And I use whey protein. It's quite good.
I used to use whey protein, but I don't know what the hell it is because of problems with my stomach. I can't anything that's just going to sit there. Specifically, the protein powders were just messing with my stomach. It wasn't a case of cabin doors to manual, everything's out. Yeah. It was a case of it feels like I'm hibernating because everything's just that bunged up.
Do you have any issues with milk?
No, not at all.
It's weird because whey protein obviously comes from milk, so it's a dairy product.
Yeah, it's not dairy. I did switch to having protein with water.
All right,
and that just tastes nasty.
Yeah, I've actually never looked at that and said, this would really use.
Yeah, it's disgusting.
I could really use less flavour. I use fully skimmed milk, so it's like the 0% fat stuff.
Yeah, that was the stuff I used to use, but then it started playing merry hell with my stomach, so I thought, well, this is another thing that's going to be pushed to the wayside. Like Subway, like fucking everything.
I actually did
Buffalo wings I've been adding on that list as well. I just found buffalo wings this year. Buffalo sausage, that's fucking tasty.
Oh, that's so good.
Can't eat it anymore.
That was off the list fast.
Yeah, it's not even that spicy. Like, you're eating it, there's a little bit of a tang, not much, just a tiny bit of a tang. But all of a sudden, my frightened 90-year-old man's stomach just goes, oh no, get rid of that shit.
Violently in times.
Yeah.
I've never really met somebody with that bad a condition of buffalo wings aren't that spicy.
Yeah.
They've got cayenne in there.
Yeah, there's a bit of cayenne in there, but yeah.
Yeah.
It's probably because I didn't experiment with spice that much. I've never really been a big experimenter with spice.
We just chuck buckets of that stuff in.
Yeah.
It's unfair to my mother, who is not that into it, whereas me and my brother's what's the dumbest thing we could eat? And can we throw ghost peppers on it?
Yeah, let's use something that the Mexican police weaponize.
Who is I just started with the gym. I've not been to the gym the last couple of weeks because I've been dealing with what I think might be my first allergic reaction to something.
Okay.
Speaking of weird bodies, I think I'm allergic to a brand of clothing conditioner that I've been using recently.
Fabric softener?
No, just like I've got like all-in-one tablets.
Oh, right.
And
That's why you don't eat them, numbnuts.
They are tasty, they are colourful.
They make me see the rainbows. Leave me alone, Dad.
Well, I'm not supposed to eat this. I know 2018 was the Tide Pod Challenge, but I mean, now the sophisticated gentlemen are about the scene. We could be able to just indulge in this nonsense.
Yeah. You see the most recent challenge that the internet's came up with?
No.
Was it the Birdbox challenge? People are just blindfolding themselves for an entire day. Netflix had to put out a statement saying, guys, thank you for endorsing the movie, but don't hurt yourself.
I'll get back to that because I just finished watching Bird Box. Like as you were walking in the room. But I've got this weird thing going on with the skin. You can see it, there's like weird red blotches all over.
Yeah.
That's everywhere over my upper body, and that's what makes me think it's the conditioner. Because if it was like new soap or anything that I got for Christmas, it'd be everywhere, and it's not there. Thank fuck.
It's just on the
There's a moment of, hey, I've got weird blotchy marks on. Oh god, no. Oh fuck, I fucking missed that one. That could have ended horrible. I was just like checking yourself out, going, is it down there? Is it on my balls? Am I gonna have to go to a doctor and say, doctor, I have red blotchy marks everywhere? Pause for a second and then say,
even
yes, everywhere. But no, I've managed to avoid it. So I think it's a conditioner I've used because I swapped over at another brand from one that I always use. So it's on sale. I'll give that a go.
Just give that a shot.
Yeah. Bad idea. So it doesn't itch that much. It's there, and it kind of annoys me that like I've just covered my entire upper body in weird blotchy marks. So that's fun. But I'm just making sure it's not. I'm sure it's the conditioner. I'm sure it's the like fabric softener, whatever the hell they've put in there. I just don't want to go to the gym in case it's not. I just give everyone a staph infection.
Yeah, you just give everyone some kind of horrible rash.
Yeah, not going to be that guy.
Yeah. It's actually, quite a lot of people say, oh, I'm allergic to this food and I'm allergic to that food, but I've never heard many people say that. Most I've heard from people is they say they're allergic to certain kind of soaps and things like that. Because I used to work with a guy when I was a chef who was deathly, like proper skin breakout, like scabs and blood and stuff like that, to properly allergic to Fairy Liquid.
All right.
And he was a dishwasher.
Oh, shit.
Because I'd finished cooking for the day, and I was only a commis chef, which is the kind of under chef. I'd do the kind of starters, breakfast, that kind of thing.
Vegetable prep.
Yeah, pretty much.
What's a vegetable prep?
Lots of just, I cut the peppers, I cut the onions, I cut the carrots, that kind of shit. Just mindless work. Occasionally they would say, Dom, we're going out the back for a smoke. Can you deal with the monumental task of making the batter for the chips, batter for the fish? Oh, I think I can do that, boss. And, I would always ask him, because I bring over all my knives and stuff at the end. It's like, right, can you clean these up? Chef's needing them for the next service. And he's like, all right. He would always ask, did you get round to getting the new soap in? And I went, I've asked. Yeah. Like, you'd see him up to about the elbow, just completely crimson.
Shit.
And we always said, right, you can put these gloves on. And it wasn't a case of just, you know, the kind of cow insemination gloves that go right up?
Yeah.
They looked like them, but they were bright yellow. So these were marigolds that went right up to the elbow, and I went, this is all we can do for you. I went, this is just fucking embarrassing. I get ripped, like the people ripped the piss out of me. I said, but it's going to help.
This might give you a chance at, helping your skin out.
No, his reaction was, fuck this, I'll quit. I was like, well, that's what if you want to do, mate.
Fair, but at the same time, like, we're trying to help you out here.
Yeah, we're giving you something, the new soap's on the way, but no, fuck it, I'll quit. I'm not wearing bright yellow gloves that are going to stop my skin breaking it. Fucking idiots.
Mate, take the hit.
Yeah.
If it comes to like medical or social, like, go for the medical.
Yeah, I had to do the same thing when I worked down at a factory, a fairly notorious factory in Bowness.
Mm-hmm.
You dodged that bullet.
Yeah.
Because you've only really worked at the same...
2 places.
Yeah, you've worked at Argos.
Yeah.
And...
The lab, yeah.
The lab. Yeah, I had to kind of bounce around and find a few jobs. My first job was working down at... the factory's called Caledonian Produce. Bleep that if you want.
I think we will. But if we're about shit talking, I think we will.
Yeah, and it was known as... we used to call it the shunk. And
probably going to bleep that too.
Feel free. But no, working there was just horrible. And you always had to... Because I grew the beard quite early, I always had to wear a beard snood. And because the way my beard grew...
Yeah.
The beard snood stopped right here, and there was still the rest of the beard to grow down, so I had to wear 2 beard snoods. because my beard was that bushy. And there was days when I would go into my department, and they would say, right, Dom, get the beard snood on. Fuck. There was days I just thought, this is embarrassing, I'm going to quit. But no, I stuck it out, and I kept going because I liked money.
I like the idea of you just with overlapping fields of snood to cover the beard.
Yeah, it was because there was one that went from the mustache down to the chin.
Yeah.
And then there was one that went from the chin down to the base of my neck, just to cover the rest of it, and it looked like something was trying. It was like a helmet or something that was just trying. Because every so often you just see the kind of crack here. Yeah. It would look like something was trying to devour me from the neck up.
See, I've got the same thing you have, where the beard comes right down the neck.
Yeah, I have to actively fight that by just shaving. Yeah. At a certain point. I
was going to ask, do you do that as well? Because I trim a line because I'm very conscious of the fact that I am a large, heavy-set white guy who likes anime with a beard that goes down his neck. I'm like, no, please.
Yeah, I actively take it to a certain line and just cut it across. I did have a straight razor.
All right.
That helped a lot because it was even all the way across. Because it would just be, there was no, like if you hit here, maybe the blade pokes up or something. It was always just like straight down. It made it a lot easier. But that thing blunted. I had to get rid of the blade, and since then I've just had the handle of a straight razor. I've not been able to find any replacement blades for it.
Yeah, probably for legal reasons in Scotland. We've got very tough knife laws.
Yeah, but if you go down to a certain barbers in Bowness, again, really good barber, gives you a decent haircut for about £9. I just realised I'm recommending a hairdressers to a bald man.
Yes.
You can pick up a straight razor for £5.
I've got pubic hair.
Hey, I'm going to ask him.
You can straight razor that.
Go in, can I get a straight razor? And he will charge you £5 for a straight razor.
That's not bad.
It's pretty good.
No, that's not bad. Yeah.
Then you realise that it's kind of a knife that he's selling to people. A few Sweeney Todd looking shifty motherfuckers going up it, going, look what I got with the hairdresser. Yeah, I just realised that entire story is predicated on me recommending a hairdresser to a bald man. Unless you want to go and get the beard sorted.
See, the thing is, all I do is, like, if I want to change the feel of the head right now, just change the set of blades, put on a new set of blades, smooth.
Incidentally, that was the first place that I tried getting the nose hair pulled.
Oh no!
Because I was trimming my mustache once, and there was a hair poking out, and I went, nope, not ready for that. Pulled it out, and my eyes started to water, and I went, no, I'm going to get a haircut, so I'll get it done then. And what they do is they get two little sort of like tiny little tongue depressors. They kind of look like coffee stirrers.
Okay.
Two little wooden sort of dipsticks almost. They cover them in a certain kind of wax and just shove that in your nose.
And they just rip it from there.
Yeah, they just rip it straight out. Afterwards, you're sitting there, your eyes are like streaming tears, just going, thank you. I can smell everything now.
The only thing with that is that you need those nose hairs.
Yeah.
You need them to help move stuff out of the nose and to catch stuff from going up and into the throat. Yeah. So that's why we'd never really recommend that. You could get it trimmed. Get like those little nose hair trimmers, or the ear hair trimmers.
Yeah.
I'm not looking forward to that.
I use the nose hair trimmers now.
But they just shove that up there just to shorten everything.
Yeah.
But also, do you know how they wax balls?
I don't want to know how they wax balls. Wax balls sounds like a terrible rapper.
Smooth as eggs. I just to give like a Dave Chappelle joke, as smooth as eggs. He said, I want to be so rich I can Botox my nuts flat.
You've just got smooth orbs.
Take all the wrinkles out. Just Botox the shit out of it. It's going to cost me millions, but I want to be smooth as eggs. I just keep thinking of smooth as eggs all the way through the bald conversation. I'm like, smooth as eggs.
Smooth as eggs.
But no, they take the balls, put them in wax, let it harden, and just crack it and rip.
Oh fuck! it's like some of the videos that you see on YouTube now. It's when people go to the Turkish barbers and they get that black wax put round their face.
Right.
It's to catch any sort of out of place hairs on the forehead. Or
it's like a really fine. It mixes with everything. It catches all the shit and opens up all the pores and stuff.
When you rip that out, it goes for everything. You know, beard hairs, spots. It just rips the full thing out, and you get people on these videos just shouting and swearing at the top of the lungs going, fuck no, get it off, this fucking hurts. Just, why do you do that then? Then you see fully grown men getting their goddamn eyebrows done.
No.
Why is that? I have a friend, right, a very, very, very metrosexual friend who we were talking, he just asked me randomly, said, how often do you get your hair cut? And I went, about every 8 weeks, or just when it starts to get too long or something. I don't really track it. And he went, cool, I get mine cut every 2 weeks. And I went, that's too much. That's way too much.
4, okay. It was a bit vain, but
I mean,
2.
Every 2 weeks, just because I want to look good. And I was like, right, okay, if that's, you do you. Again, it's not hurting anybody. He's not being a dick. But I'll get my eyebrows done as well. And I went, okay, I need to rip you for that. You're not getting away with that. I went, oh yeah, they do the full thing. They get they cut, like, tease a little line out there, and they get rid of all the top one, make it all uniform, and then they get the little thin wire out, and they pluck the little unsightly hairs. And I went, my mum gets that done. My sister-in-law gets that done, and when my niece gets old enough, she'll probably get that done. And he went, why are you trying to shame me? Because you're a man getting your fucking eyebrows. Why? He went, oh, I get my monobrow wax as well. And I went, you're really not fucking helping your case here, dude.
Like, everyone gets the monobrow kept in check. We need to do that. We're hairy men.
Yeah, I get the, but it's a razor. That's it.
I take the Gillette and go, up, bang,
it's
done.
just a little bit.
Yeah.
Takes no time at all. You don't need to get that fucking thing waxed.
I have a massive head. I just use the thing regular, like, just hold it flat and then just whoosh, up the top.
I just kind of, like, get it in there and shave. That's it. It doesn't take you fucking 2 seconds.
Ugh.
No, but I asked him, what's the price of your regular haircut? Because mine's £9. I get the same thing done every time.
I was going to say, like, a 2-week haircut but also getting the eyebrows done, that's going to be at least a 10 or 12 quid.
It's more.
No.
Because he gets his beard shaped. He gets he's kind of a hairy dude, kind of like me. He's got hairs that come up in the back of it. He gets all those trimmed. He gets the nose hair done. He gets the ear hair done. And I went, right, you've told me what you've got done. How much it cost you? And he went, well, I've been going there a while. When I first started, it was about 26 quid. Now I'm on about 25. And I went, you spend my phone bill getting the fucking haircut. And I went, oh, I'll make this much money. And I'll tell you off mic how much this fucker makes. You can afford to do this shit.
But still, damn, that's...
Still,
I was working at
quid.
a tenner, roughly. I was like, if it was just a haircut, it'd be about a tenner.
Yeah, that's every 2
And that was
weeks.
still 260 quid a year.
If he was in America, he'd have to write off a tax deductible for haircuts.
But now I'm trying to do the math on it being 25, and I'm now coming to about 650 quid
It's
a year.
ridiculous.
That is... Damn, son.
650 quid a year is it's too much. I mean, I spend about... Because I've been going to the same hairdresser for quite a while. It started off at £10, then it's just been getting less and less now. I think I pay about £8.50 because I've been going there for a long time.
Yeah.
£9 if I'm getting, if I decide to get them shape the beard, which I don't usually do because I do the beard. The beard is all me.
Yeah.
Because no one else does it right. They cut it too short and then I look like I'm fucking back in high school. I'll deal with the beard. But yeah, I've never had to pay anything more than £10 for a haircut. Even when I went through to Edinburgh and certain sort of Turkish barbers there, I've never paid anything more than £10. The fact that you're a dude
The amount of
making this expenditure every 2 weeks.
I'm now thinking the amount of expenses I've saved because I've never been to a barber.
Yeah,
That's just ridiculous. I've never
exactly.
had to sat and crack out the numbers. Shit. That's a habit almost.
Yeah, it's. I mean, I spend. I can't really comment because of the amount of money that I'm going to be spending on games this month. But I will say
you told me about that.
1/3 of that is for someone else. And the good thing is, thanks to Amazon and Game, I'm saving about 40 quid because they dropped the price in some of them.
No.
Which helps me out quite a fucking lot. I think the most I'm spending is £70.
How far away are you from Kingdom Hearts?
From Kingdom Hearts 3, that is the 29th of January.
Hmm.
And then we've got Resident Evil 2 on the 25th of January. So yeah, I got some choices to make. But I think Resident Evil on the 25th of January is just going to be, I'm going to play that to completion.
Yeah.
Just fully focus on that. Because I know come February, March time, it's going to be back into coursework. So I'm going to get all the good things done now.
Dom, you only need one kidney, mate. You only need one kidney.
Yeah, I mean, I'm fine for money. I'm good for money. But I'm spending this. This is going to be. I just couldn't get over going on about the money. I couldn't get over that he spends that much money getting his haircut.
How have you been getting on with Smash?
I've actually I don't know if it's just been that I played it so much when I first got it, but there's been a bit of a slowdown.
Oh.
There's been a bit of a slowdown. I still play matches every so often, just jumping online because it's on the Switch. You can get the Nintendo Switch Online, which you now need to go online.
All right.
Yeah, which it's no excuse for having a very subpar service.
Yeah.
You're paying £18 a year, which is pretty decent considering PlayStation Plus is 50 quid, maybe 60 actually. I can't really remember, and Xbox Live, which is the better service, is only 40.
Yeah,
it's not even funny how much better Xbox Live is compared to PlayStation Network.
My Xbox bill came off the week before Christmas. That was a nice surprise.
Really?
Yeah. Okay, I just need to go buy those last minute gifts, and Wait a minute.
How the fuck?
Hey.
I don't like this. But
Yeah.
having all the current gen consoles, the Switch, the Xbox, and the PS4, it kind of puts me in a very nice position to pit them against each other and kind of see how they stack up.
Yeah.
PlayStation 4 definitely stacks up in terms of single player experiences because they've got God of War, they've got I was going to say they've got Red Dead Redemption, but that's it.
That's both.
They've got some good exclusives.
Better be both, otherwise I've been playing something else.
Yeah, they've got some good games, but PlayStation's online service is dicks.
Yeah.
It's about £10 more than Xbox, but Xbox is it's solid. I've never had a dropout in my fucking life playing on Xbox. I play on PS4 for Street Fighter 5 and games like Guilty Gear, Xrd, and a couple other fighting games. I constantly drop connection. But then I go on Xbox One, play some Dragon Ball Fighters. All I have to deal with there is fucking people that keep spamming Go Tanks.
Yeah.
It's fucking infuriating.
The problem with problem with the Xbox is not the Xbox network, it's the people playing Xbox.
Yeah, it's the people who fucking play it.
Yeah.
All the noobs that got their fucking Xboxes and PlayStations and Switches for Christmas.
Why do so many 12-year-olds have Xboxes?
I don't know, because they
Mom, I
fucking,
want
they
a
annoy their
Fortnite
parents.
game machine.
Yeah, I want.
Okay, I guess the Xbox is cheaper.
I
Fuck
want
it.
buildy shooty game. Oh, fine, we'll get your fucking Xbox. But I was talking to my big cousin, who is the mother of 4, one of which, or 3 of them are triplets.
Okay.
And they're fucking the most terrifying triplets on the planet. But we're around there just before.
They're coordinated, aren't they?
They're very coordinated.
Oh, shit.
Scarily coordinated. For example, it's 2 boys and a girl. The girl slips and falls in the living room. The 2 boys are at the back on the trampoline. Come in and go, we hurt ourselves. Can we come in now? I genuinely want to just ramp it up and just spread it out a bit more. But I think no, they've got it down pat.
Yeah.
But we're in there just before Christmas talking. Like, we haven't seen the family in quite a while. And one of the boys come up to me and said, could you talk to my mum? And I said, sure, child. I was going to say his name, but
okay.
sure, child. What is it? Anyway, can you tell my mummy that I really want an Alexa for Christmas? And I went, yeah, sure. What the? Did you just say you want an Alexa?
Yeah.
I went, yeah, I've seen the adverts. It looks so cool. Can you talk to my mummy? I went, no. Why do you want an Alexa? Oh, because it can do things for me. Do them yourself, you lazy little bastard.
The thing is, I feel like the Alexas and the home devices, I think they may have already had a few instances like this, are going to be that next, like the kid just spends money somehow because it's all connected and it auto buys stuff and there's no way of like parental verification.
No.
You can't just be like, okay, it needs to be somebody with a certain voice range so you know it's an adult, like fully developed voice that says, order me 400 V-Bucks or whatever.
There's going to be some idiot kid that goes, oh, my Xbox doesn't work anymore. Alexa, order me an Xbox One X and 3 controllers. Ordering you one right now, sir. Fantastic.
It'll be delivered tomorrow.
Yeah. Oh, your parents have Amazon Prime. You get this deal for only £30 extra. Great, give me that too, Alexa. I'd only be interested, thinking about it, I'd only be interested in Alexa if I could change the voice. Because
I know there's certain regional ones.
Yeah.
And you can change your regional voice. So, like, if you're an Australian living in the UK, you can still have it use the Australian voice. And apparently, the region you select, it helps deal with your voice better.
Ah, right. So there better be a Scottish one.
I don't know. I don't actually know anybody who has one of those home listening devices just because of the whole paranoia we've all got about them.
Yeah. I know one person that has it, but they don't really post about it. So I assume it's okay. It's not quite at the sentient stage where it takes all your information and starts,
The thing is, the Americans have a lot more fun with it because they have much more modern houses.
Yeah.
Scottish houses are built in the 50s, 60s.
Yeah.
And it shows, mostly because there's not an Ethernet port anywhere in the house.
No. Mostly the low doorways as well.
And you've got to, like, if you have a modern home or a home that you can take apart quite easily, you can build a almost sentient home. You can build a smart home with, like, smart meter readers and stuff like that.
That's what I want. I want a smart home.
Yeah, it's a great idea. It's a great way of like organize stuff. As long as there's like a manual version of everything, though. Like I still want to be able to override shit.
Yeah, I still want to be able to. I don't want to have to walk in and go dim the lights. I want to be able to control that shit myself.
Oh, yeah, if the network goes down, if the Wi-Fi goes down, I still want to be able to use my house.
I also don't want to live in a house without remotes. I refuse to live in a house where I have to rely on someone or something to be able to pick up my voice saying turn the television off. Nothing can be. I can't overstate the fact that I want to be able to just go up and click a button and turn it off.
I will say, if you've ever used your phone as a remote, Netflix does it sometimes. You can pair your phone with whatever you're using Netflix on, and you can use that as the remote. Phenomenal. Just game changer. Just not even just to have like a remote, but to have like your phone wired into shit. I'm like, damn, if I could get that to work on a bunch of stuff, I'll take that.
I remember you could do that with the Wii U. If you had your Wii U connected up to your TV, you could use the Wii U gamepad as a television remote.
All right.
So when I got my first flat screen TV, which I had to throw out because we were moving it. We had to move it. I was cleaning my room, so I was moving it. I thought we're going to move this to a different place. As we were moving it off the stand, it fell down and just, not even just slightly cracked. There was like a crack.
Spiderweb.
Going up at the proper spiderweb, just going right through the thing.
Yeah.
So I thought, right, going to have to get a new one. Got the new one, but it didn't come with a fucking remote. So I had to use my the Wii U gamepad to just type it out. Eventually got a hold of the PC World that I bought the TV from and said, yeah, there's no remote with this. And they went, okay, we'll send you one out now. I was like, good customer service. Well done, PC World. Why didn't you give me a job, motherfuckers?
Somebody asked me about that once because you're a PC guy, Colin. Like, yeah, I know a couple of things. What's up? And they go, you ever been to the PC World up in Falkirk? He goes, yeah. I went there once to get my laptop, and great, seems fine. Not been there in a while though. What's up? And he goes, I went up there to get myself a new laptop because mine broke. It's like 10 years old, so don't give a shit.
Yeah.
There was like 10 people there not doing anything. What? There was 10 staff just wandering around.
Yeah, that's all they do. They just kind of orbit. Because I went for an interview there. They literally tell you to do what they call a walkthrough.
Mm-hmm.
You start at one corner at the sort of Carphone warehouse, and on the left,
yeah.
Then you just go from corner to corner. Then you cut down the store. You cut along past the tills. You just keep walking around in this kind of 10-point Venn fucking diagram until you eventually get to go up to someone and say, "Can I help you?"
All right.
Yeah, it's pretty helpful, but at the same time, it's a lot of people doing nothing.
Yeah, can't be very efficient.
It's very much not efficient, and you have to be trained to lift boxes.
No, that's pretty standard. It's really frustrating with like health and safety to say.
Yeah, I know.
It's nothing to do with lifting the boxes. It's the liability of the company.
I don't like the fact that we now live in a society where you have to teach someone how to lift a box.
And
you have to teach someone that lift with your knees, not with your back, because you're going to put that thing out.
I wouldn't mind so much, but there's situations where the lifting technique you're shown doesn't work correctly with the situation, like super heavy stuff at weird angles and stuff, or weird positions you've got to put yourself into to try and achieve the correct, air quotes, lifting technique. I'm like, I can just deadlift this thing.
Yeah.
I just straight up, I can just deadlift this thing and we can be done in 30 seconds. And you're just like, look, just stand back, I'll do it. What do you mean? Bang, done, just off.
There you go, it's in its place. Delivery sorted.
We I actually had to shift an autoclave, and it's pretty big. So just an autoclave, if you don't know, is a kind of self-controlled like pressure cooker. So it's a lot of solid steel.
Yeah.
So we have to clean them, we have to move them. We're doing part of deep cleaning because this week we're being audited, and they can come in and check any part of the lab. So we just need to make sure everything's nice and clean. So we thought, wonder what's behind the autoclaves these days. Can get a bit nasty behind there just because of the way things get cooked. You can get any spillages and stuff. So I was like, how are we going to shift this? So we can take this apart, we can do some really intricate work and make sure the piping's all sorted, but it turns out we can't do that because there's olives on the piping, which means it's not coming out. So I was like, I'm just going to push it. What do you mean? I'm just going to push it. I'm going to take this thing, I'm going to push it forward, and as long as it doesn't scrape too much, we'll be fine. He goes, you sure? I'm like, yeah, watch this. It's that good moment of like, you get the old man muscle versus like the young guy, and you get to show the young guy what you would do. Like, stand there, I'm going to do this, you're going to watch. Okay, just make sure it doesn't tip. Nothing should tip. There's way too much space. There's like enough room for me to move and do this thing, but I'm just going to do this. And you just kind of grunt and push stuff.
Yeah, just heave fucking hole and get this thing out the damn way.
Yeah. So I did that, and it was a lot of fun. Just like, because then once you push it in place, I gotta pull it back. Yeah. Oops. I did not think this one through. Shit. It's a good point of having both sets of muscles working, kids. Don't just train chest.
Yeah, don't just do the one thing over and over again.
The back is a thing. Treat it well.
Also, you just made me think of something there. you asked me how I was doing with Smash. I have some news about Smash.
Yeah.
IGN recently put out a video saying apparently the full DLC roster has now been leaked.
Okay.
And the characters that they referenced were complete and utter horseshit.
Yeah.
There was one that actually stuck out my head and that made me think, you know what, this could actually be a possibility. And it's the main character, Erdrick, from the Dragon Quest games.
Okay.
Dragon Quest, which is drawn by Akira Toriyama. One thing that's made me think, right, so he's willing to put in one Akira Toriyama work but not the other. They're never going to put Goku in, so this is going to be the closest you're going to get to Goku. It could happen because Dragon Quest is getting a resurgence in Japan, so Japan might look to Nintendo, or Square Enix might look to Nintendo and say, look, we're trying to get more buzz about these games, can we put Erdrick in Smash? Because they've done that with the Fire
And
Emblem.
it's a game character, because that was the thing. You told us last week it was no anime, manga, or movie characters.
No anime, no manga, no TV characters, no movie characters. So you're never going to see Captain America or Wolverine. You're never going to see Goku or Vegeta, and you're never going to see anything that's related to a manga or anime that isn't already a video game. You're never going to see them in there, and you're never going to see Waluigi. Fuck you.
Oh,
right.
Waluigi.
Waluigi was a character that was made to give Wario a tennis partner. He wasn't meant to be in main game canon. The fact that he made it into other games was cool, but Waluigi, there's not enough unique about Waluigi to give him his own moveset.
But surely now he becomes a twisted parody of Luigi, right?
Yeah, that's kind of his main shtick now. But I think most people realise that most people need to realise that Waluigi has no chance of getting into the game because he's already in the game as an assist trophy.
I think we'll see some changes.
I don't.
I think we'll see. I think we see some very. But I have several very long-winded, worded letters ready to go.
Yeah, you're really.
To whom it may concern.
You're really going to bug Sakurai into putting this character in the game while he's on some island in the Bahamas with his Smash Bros money, just drinking it up. But there's Erdrick from Dragon Quest. There was Ryu Hayabusa from Ninja Gaiden.
Right.
Which again, I don't even think there's a slight possibility of that character making it into the game because Ninja Gaiden hasn't made it onto a Nintendo console in fucking years.
Mostly because of the jiggle physics.
And the insane violence.
Yeah.
The one that is, I think, almost a fucking certainty at this point is Banjo and Kazooie from Banjo-Kazooie.
Yeah.
Because it started off its legacy on Nintendo, and then in Smash Bros. Ultimate, it's all about just honouring video game legacies.
Yeah.
Ryu and Ken were in there because they have a fucking long history on Nintendo platforms, same with Mega Man. And the final hinted DLC character, or the final data mined DLC character, was Minecraft Steve. What made me realise that what solidified this as complete and utter fake was the fact that he has one of his skins, his alternate colours, was a Halo colour. You're never going to get that in a fucking Nintendo game.
I don't know. I think there's been partnerships that have started because of stuff like Fortnite and Minecraft, where people want to play cross-platform. And I think that obviously with Sony is doing its own weird autistic screeching thing in the corner.
Yeah. No crossplay.
It makes the network insecure. You're the only people who've been hacked, and that was with your ultra secure network.
Yeah, that was with your we're ultra safe bullshit.
So yeah, you guys kind of fucking lost that one before you started. But no,
how Microsoft were pioneers of crossplay, Xbox and PC, they never got hacked. Maybe there's something there.
I actually think that's Windows. I think there's something in the Windows 10 that makes it is just giving it a little bit of an edge.
Yeah,
I think that's just it's from a ground up architecture level. Something is protecting Xbox networks versus PlayStations. Yeah. So I think Sony's building something on top of someone else's work, whereas Microsoft know the shit from the ground up.
I think it's because Sony have only really ever done consoles and computers and things. Microsoft have done so many different software things that I think they just know how this shit works. Yeah. They know how to make it secure.
They've been doing it for 40 years as well.
Yeah, I mean, you think when someone says to you, what do you think about when you think of Sony, you immediately think PlayStation, Vio TVs.
Oh, the big ass TVs is the first thing that comes to mind.
The Bravias and stuff like that. Then you think of Microsoft, you just think computers, servers, storage, all that shit. You just think anything synonymous with a computer.
Surprisingly frequent updates. Every time I want to turn off my computer and go to bed.
Every time you want to power down that laptop, you just, please update first, sir.
I will say an SD hard drive cuts out a lot of the bullshit.
Yeah.
Totally speeds up. Even the updates, I was like, I wonder if it'll actually have an effect. And then got my first big update and was just after I put the SD drives in my PC. I was like, I was told there was the big one coming. I was like, what big one? It was the creative update, which is like the big one that introduced a lot of the crossplay features between a PC and an Xbox.
Yeah.
I was like, oh man, I wonder how big it's going to be. And we looked at me and the IT guy out through the specs. It's a big fucking update. 30 seconds?
Yeah, done in no time. People always say if they buy, say, a gaming rig or something, it comes complete. No. Best thing to do for any new PC is throw an SSD in there. You're going to be so fucking thankful.
My dad's laptop ate shit recently. So we actually I took his hard drive out, copied a bunch of the stuff onto like a spare drive, put it onto his new one that he got for Christmas. And my mum was like, I don't know about laptops. What should I get him? I was half and half looking at like just a high speed hard drive and an SSD, and I'm like, he doesn't do that much with a laptop. I should probably just go with the normal hard drive, just because it's worth it if you're really going to use and abuse the shit out of that PC.
What?
But if you're not going to go all in on it, I would just say go for a really just decent speed hard drive. 7,000 RPM hard drive, not hard to get, does the job perfectly well. So that's my little PC corner.
Yeah, it's something I still need to look into getting a new laptop, but I know that's not going to be even feasible until February. Yeah, because the one that I have is just slowly but surely shitting the bed. It takes about a full 5 minutes to power up. Like you hit the button, you could go make a cup of tea, go make some fucking toast or some breakfast or something. Then it might even just slightly be close to ready.
That was the moment I knew my laptop was fucked.
Yeah, but I still need to use it for uni, and I'm not going to be able to replace it until, like I said, February. So I'm thinking I'll just try and do the best thing, kind of plaster work.
Have you actually considered an SD drive?
Yeah.
On
I think I've got one on my PC just to kind of make that thing run a bit faster. But
no, on the laptop. I did it to mine. That's what boosted this thing back up to being a usable.
Yeah,
laptop.
but it was a second-hand laptop. It was, in fact, no, it's not even a proper laptop. It's a notebook that
right.
someone's boosted up the hard drive space on. But I'm thinking it's getting to the point. It was second-hand. I've had it for 5 years. I think it's the time to get rid of it. Like, get a new one.
Time to take her out back and give her both barrels.
Yeah, just sorry, sir.
There's a certain point you got to just cut your losses and run. Yeah, my brother's considering a gaming PC, although he is being recently waylaid by a broken controller. He broke his Elite controller.
Oh, that's an expensive repair or an expensive replace.
Only thing is, a couple of weeks ago, his Xbox shit the bed as well. So he's recently replaced his Xbox, which is the big black one that I've got sitting there, with a little white one.
Oh, the
very nice
One S.
Yeah, it's just they've replaced it. Like, you no longer get that anymore.
Yeah,
unless they've got one in stock and you specifically ask for it.
Yeah, unless you go into I think you can only get the original Xbox models if you go into a CEX or something.
Yeah, you got to buy it second hand.
Yeah,
but he got
the fucking tanks.
Yeah,
I mean
that thing is huge.
Yeah, not even just that. They are powerful machines.
The Xbox S though that he's got is adorable. Like it's so much smaller.
It's tiny.
Damn, it's like a cute little thing.
Yeah.
But
if you run them side by side with a PS4, Xbox is silent because they did the right thing of putting the power pack outside the fucking thing. No,
and the S, it's inside. Yeah, because that was something that was a guy at work came up to me and goes, I went and bought my daughter an Xbox.
Yeah.
But I got it from Germany. It's got the European plug. I said, just get a kettle plug and stick it in because the adapter, like the power converter, the brick, is inside. So now it's just straight wire into the Xbox.
Yeah. See, that's what I don't know if it'll run loud, but
it's not bad.
Yeah.
From he was on it. It was a new machine. It was only about 4 weeks old when I saw my brother's one. But he was like balls deep in a Destiny raid and was like nothing. But yeah, he got me that, or he got himself that, and I was like, get yourself the white Elite controller. The white one is actually cheaper than the black one is right now.
Alright, how much? I think the original one's about 100 and something.
Ooh, it's about up from that. It's about 130. The white one's 105.
That's not too bad.
So that's 25 quid off, mate. Yeah. And it matches. It's a little bit of that colour coordination.
Yeah. I actually need to get a new Xbox One controller because the D-pad on mine doesn't work.
Ooh.
And I play a lot of fighting games, so
yeah,
I need to get that to work.
If you've ever taken apart one of those things, the D-pad is a fucking nightmare.
Yeah, oh yeah. That's why I'm not even bothered.
Yeah, don't bother trying to fix it. You'll find some guide. You'll find some. It's weird when you do the guide for that type of thing. You'll find there's 2 different groups of people, and it was really apparent with like the setup for the mixer we've got here. It is like dudes in their 50s who filming it on a phone like vertically. Like, dude, cannot trust your guidance here because you're filming
tilt the phone
vertically.
Tilt the phone.
Or it's 5-year-olds.
Yeah.
And you're like, should you be able to do this?
Yeah. I mean, your motor skills and dexterity, shit the bed.
I mean, but this is great and all, but there's a serious chance you might be electrocuted to your kids.
Go get an adult.
Yeah.
Because that's what I did when I cracked open my PS4, when it first started running loud. The first thing I did was YouTube, how to clean a PS4. And 2 of them were in Spanish.
Okay.
Because I don't know why. Every so often, my Google account just thinks I'm in Spain. Every so often, the page will go to Spanish and all my return results will be in Spanish. But then I eventually found one guy that says, look, this is what you do. It'll take you 5 minutes. Get a tin of compressed air, get yourself a nice clean surface.
And just blast it out
And
at the
just
right angles.
clean out all the thing. Make sure and take the battery pack out with it ripping out the 3 tiny fragile cords that hold it together. And it's just literally, it's a case of, it sits in kind of flat. Then you have to flip it out and to the left to get in underneath and clean it. You will sweat more than you have ever sweated before when you just take this battery out of the PS4 and flip it to the left. Your hands are shaking. The sweat is hitting the ground just in tremors.
When I was taking apart the laptop to put the SSD drive in there, I had to I had to pop out the keyboard with enough force to lift it up and out because it's all just held in place by plastic pushing in. You need to kind of lever in there with a screwdriver and just pop it up as you go around. But you have to lift it hard enough to lift it out the whole, like the casing, and then you have to stop yourself immediately and then slowly reach underneath for 3 or 4 pieces of ribbon. And because it's all ribbon connectors that are holding everything in place, and everything's held in place, so it's like the ribbon's latched into a tiny little plastic thing, no bigger than your pinky fingernail. Yeah, it's ridiculous. I was I'm absolutely shitting myself here. IT is fun. I like it.
Yeah, I like kind of building and rebuilding things because with the new gaming PC, the first thing I did was I need to look into this thing and see what it's running, so I can see what I can upgrade and what I can try and improve. To be honest, it was an MSI computer, so it was fairly well put together.
Those are good, yeah.
Yeah. So there wasn't much I played with. Like I said, I put the SSD drive in just because the first thing that Argic always says is the minute you get a new PC, first thing you do is chuck an SSD in there. You're going to be fucking thankful for it. Yeah. So, I mean, he's worked in the same place for fucking 8 years or something now, so I'm going to trust him. Yeah. So he knows his shit.
We started watching, randomly watched Linus Tech Tips videos. Fucking hilarious. When he's talking about interesting stuff, it's fun to learn new terms and understand how things work and all get put together. He's next level. He's way beyond what I know. Yeah. So I'm I don't have a fucking clue half the thing you just said there, but it sounds about right. I don't know what a PCIP express lane is, but fuck it. But whenever he starts fucking in with I'm going to start replacing all this in my office, you go, oh boy, this is going to be good. And he would just start ripping shit out of computers and go, all the time I just hot glue this, and you're like, oh no, why are you doing this? He was doing just doing a general server maintenance at some point this week, and I just watched that video last night. I don't think I've laughed that hard in ages. I don't know why. There's just something about him going, well, he gets really cavalier, and he's just gonna do it. I'm just gonna go right ahead and do this, and then it's 5 minutes later, I'm just going, oh shit. Oh shit moments are fucking fantastic in IT. I did actually, I sent it, forwarded it onto our IT guy, and he goes, oh, this is really funny. By the way, apropos of nothing, I'm going to be joining you for the next big IT thing you do, just for shits and giggles.
Just to see the process. It was always something that I looked into as a kind of career, because when I first left school, I had that shit the bed moment of, I don't know what I'm going to do. Yeah. I can kind of use computers. Fuck it, I'll try that. Because I never thought in a million years that I'd be studying fucking law. Thanks to certain incredibly helpful teachers at our old high school. But I went in to do some sort of base level college course. Finished it, then I thought, don't want to work with computers. There's far too much to do there, and I can't program for shit. Can't write scripts. Can't understand many programming languages. But
programming languages are a foreign language.
Yeah, it's
if you treat it like that, they make more sense.
Yeah.
Only there's very severe consequences to poor sentence construction.
Yeah. There's a lot more expensive consequences to poorly written code than a poorly structured sentence.
Donde esta la biblioteca is
Motherfucker.
a very serious thing. I'll have you know, people get very defensive about libraries.
As they should. People should read more and maybe think about what they're speaking about before
or just audiobooks. I'm sorry. I'm almost done reading.
Really?
Yeah, I don't know what it is. I just every time I pick up a book, I'm like, oh, this is probably
there an
better as an
audiobook?
audiobook. Yep. I there's a few books that I've got that I'm like, I enjoy reading this, or I'm forcing myself to read this because I need to learn what's in the book. Other than that, I'm looking for that the audiobook version. And it doesn't help that I'd love to be able to what if I pretend that I'm making the audiobook in my head?
Yeah.
No.
Nope, it's not going to work. I had this conversation with someone recently. The whole books versus comics and comic books against audiobooks. It's because we were talking about, what was the last thing you read. It was a real fucking pretentious conversation. I have no fucking idea why I started it.
Yeah.
But they asked, I read this book. And I was like, oh, cool. How'd it end? But it ended with someone dying or getting burnt. I went, yeah, it did end that way. I was like, oh, what a twist. And they went, what was the last thing you read? And I went, I read a comic book. Then he went, oh, you read a comic book?
Comic books don't count.
Comic books don't count. They're not literature. Well, they kind of are.
Yeah.
Then they went, oh, the last thing I read was Neil deGrasse Tyson's book. I went, where'd you get that from? Audible. I went, yeah, you read it, did you?
I downloaded the Kindle version too. It totally counts.
Exactly. I've got the Kindle White. It's like
You've
reading
got
an
a
actual
page
book.
marker. It's on my phone.
Like,
I read it.
I've got a virtual bookmark and everything. Yeah, fucking idiot. Like, as long as you're reading books, who gives a shit? If comic books, I keep having this, come back to this discussion with a lot of people. Right, comic books, fair enough. It's not your usual highbrow literature. You're still reading a book. It still counts.
Okay.
Yeah. Don't look down on the comic book readers.
There is something different about building the entire thing in your head, though.
Yeah, I quite like that, especially when you're reading a really good fantasy book.
Yeah.
Like the Patrick Rothfuss books, like In the Name of the Wind and... Fuck, it wasn't. I can't remember the name of the other one, but I think it's called the Kingslayer Chronicles.
I think I've heard of those, but can't remember what the hell
like
they are.
that was, or any kind of fantasy book that you can think of.
Yeah.
Like reading Lord of the Rings back in the day, back in primary school.
Yeah.
Building up that in your head, especially before the movies.
Yeah.
Then you're just thinking, oh, I wonder what Gandalf looked like. I wonder what this battle looked like. And particularly for me, was imagining what Gollum actually physically looked like.
Because he's alluded to for like a couple of books, little hints and references, and then it actually gets reviewed. And you're like, oh.
Yeah. And I remember Samwise very, very vividly describing what Gollum looked like, saying he was a horrible creature with kind of grey, scaly looking skin, with very, very thin wisps of hair and very jagged and pointy teeth, and just a horrible mess of a creature. Then you build that up in your head and just, holy shit, Gollum must look fucking disgusting.
And Andy Serkis fucking nails it.
Yeah, Andy Serkis. Yeah, he does kind of get it down pat.
Best example of the books to movies thing for me was for me it was Aragon. I actually really loved the Aragon series. The movie killed my love for the franchise. I didn't read the last book.
I've been told that the first Aragon movie is a tough watch.
Oh, it's bad. It's really bad. I'm pretty sure they just hired foreign people for the dwarves.
Really?
Didn't even hire small foreign people, just foreign people. Like, oh, they're from a strange mystical land. And you're like, pretty sure that guy is like Malaysian. I'm not gonna lie. he's
guy's Malaysian and he's 6'9".
Yeah,
he's not a dwarf. He's just a very, very tall Malaysian man.
He's almost as big as the dragon. No, those books were fantastic reading for like young teenage me. I loved the hell out of them. And when the end of the second book was fantastic, and then Christopher Paolini's like, I'm going to do the last one. It's coming out now, but the movie will come out first. So go see the movie. And I was like, oh, I can't wait for this. And then I left that cinema feeling betrayed. That's the only way I can describe it.
Let down, kind of like how I felt watching the Hobbit movies.
Yeah. No, I dragged my family to see these. I was like, this is going to be great. It's going to be great.
You dragged your family to see the Aragon?
Yeah, my dad was like, I don't think it's going to be that good. And I'm like,
You're going to be
it's going to be amazing.
You're going to be disappointed.
What could possibly go wrong? I left that cinema feeling, I was sitting there during the middle of it feeling embarrassed. I was like 15, so, but if I could have, like, if you could go back in one moment and just give yourself a drink for it to get through a moment,
Yeah.
that would be that moment.
You go back in time and give yourself one piece of advice. I'd tell myself not to go and watch Eragon.
Yeah.
Now, for me, it would be don't go and watch the Alex Rider movie with your family. Remember the Alex Rider books? The Anthony Horowitz books.
I remember Anthony Horowitz. I remember my brothers reading the Alex Rider stuff.
Yeah, I remember because I've read all those books.
Yeah.
Old friend from primary school got me one of the, I think, what was the first book called? Stormbreaker.
Yeah.
Got me Stormbreaker for my birthday. I fucking devoured that. I think it was during a spate where I wasn't too well. I think the old asthma was flaring up, so I was in the house quite a lot. So I got that book. Then parents just I had my nose in this book constantly. We'd go out, like we did quite a lot in those days. We'd go out to Glasgow or something, nose in the book. We'd go and see family, nose in the book. Finished it within about 3 days.
Yeah.
Then I said to my dad, I need to get the next one. Next one's out. And he went, how much are they? He looked in the back. I think they were about £15. And he went, I don't fucking know. You might just need to wait for a bit. And I bugged them for so long to get the next book. Then I think I've read all of them up to a point. And I think it ended with Scorpio, which was pretty good ending in the book. And I always just thought like when I was talking to my older brothers, it'd be really cool if they made a movie about that. Then I watched the movie and same reaction with you with Eragon. I went, that's not how it went. They did it wrong. I can remember coming out the cinema. Mum just went, did you like that movie? I went, no. Why is Stephen Fry in it? He doesn't need to be in it. Why is Stephen Fry in it and he's not the Prime Minister or something? He's just some random dude that works in a toy shop that's a cover for a spy factory or something, or spy gadget factory.
We had me and my brothers had a real good love of Darren Shan, who wrote the vampire novels. And
John C. Reilly.
Yeah, we were waiting on those movies coming out because those were the ones that's like, that was the first time we did those discussions of, wouldn't this be great for a movie? And we started doing those like fantasy castings, like, oh, to put this person in this role, this person in this role. And we were just like enjoying ourselves, like really looking forward to this whole thing. They go, they're actually doing it. It's gonna be amazing. And then my brother went to see it and came back. He said, "I'm really angry." He's not an angry person. He just left that cinema feeling just seething rage,
just betrayed.
And when it came to the Demon Atta series, which was a lot of fun, it's a weird way of taking on demons, but it really works. They really stick to it, and it works within its own rules. They kind of kept going with that series, and it was way darker and way greater because almost nothing happens to the main hero in the Vampire Saga. But when it comes to the Demon Atta world, I think like 90% of the main cast die throughout the course of the story.
Sounds about right, yeah.
Storyline, and it's always about impossible odds and like hordes of demons and stuff, and it's not even people just like dying. Like, nobody just dies in their sleep. It's like people getting torn to pieces. Yeah. Right. I never want to see them make this movie. They're gonna fuck it up worse than they did the vampire stuff.
There was the first movie. What was it? Cirque du Freak.
Cirque du Freak, and it covered. I think it was the first 3 books because the books are very small.
Yeah,
for
very small books. That was the one with John C. Reilly, and I never read the books myself. I think I had one of the books, but I never really got around to reading it.
They're fantastic pulp fantasy. They're when you read them when you're like 15. When you're like the age of the main character, like, this is shit. Awesome.
I relate to this guy.
It's the same thing as the Harry Potter novels. If you read them when they came out, it was
I read
phenomenal.
Those books. I read all those books.
It was awesome. We were wizards.
And I never read any of those books. I didn't like Harry Potter.
No.
I always remember, particularly where we grew up, it was you either read Harry Potter or you read Lord of the Rings, or you're one of those weird freaks that did both. Because everyone else was talking about how good Harry Potter was, and I just went, hey guys, you ever read Lord of the Rings? Fellowship of the Ring is a great book. There's shut up, Dom, fat fucking idiot.
The problem is that the Lord of the Rings came out long before Harry Potter saved the British public for reading.
Yeah,
there's no denying that. Like they brought reading back.
People getting trampled to get Order of the Phoenix, and
but then nobody circled back to read Lord of the Rings because the movies came out, and it's like, well,
I'm
what's the
not
point?
going to read these massive books when there's a 3-hour movie out.
Yeah, the 3-hour movie is enough, sir.
Yeah. Which I get, but I just thought if you want to see fantasy, if you want to see a fantasy setting where there's wizards and swords and stuff, or there's wizards and magic, Lord of the Rings was just a better way to get that for me. But again, philosophy here is always, if it doesn't hurt anybody, I just prefer Lord of the Rings.
For just the Harry Potter series for a lot of kids was just, if you read it as it came out and you were about the right age, it's a massive, like, kind of, it opens a lot of doors to people, and there's a lot of people you wouldn't expect to be interested in a fantasy novel. Like, the amount of people who are like, oh yeah, I've got like a little Harry Potter tattoo. You're like, excuse me, what?
That makes you a better person. Although the weirdest, when you see the kind of the plot lines, almost like someone started reading Harry Potter, now they started reading the Eragon books, now they're reading the Golden Compass series, now they're reading series of unfortunate events. There's that kind of those kind of track lines that you follow.
Mm-hmm.
The best one that I ever seen, I was talking to a friend or someone that I used to hang about with quite a lot at college. She went, oh, I read the Harry Potter books, and I was like, oh cool, what did you go in after that? Then I went from Harry Potter to series of unfortunate events. I was like, okay. And then what did you read after that? And she said, oh, then I got really into Edgar Allan Poe. Then I went from Edgar Allan Poe and I found out about this guy. Do you know him? He's called H.P. Lovecraft.
Okay.
And I went, how the fuck do you go from Harry Potter to eldritch horror so fucking quickly? And at the age of 18 as well.
You skipped a few stages there.
Yeah, they're all basically the same kind of shit. I went, okay, removing a series of unfortunate events which has no magic whatsoever. It's kind of a light teen detective novel, because if you see Lemony Snicket, he's trying to put the pieces together, what happened to the Baudelaire children. You've got Golden Compass, which is all about sort of magicians and the familiars. You obviously got Harry Potter, that's about magicians, and you've got Edgar Allan Poe, which is about depressing, soul-crushing mental states and just darkness. Then you've got eldritch horror about people facing a demon who's so cosmically powerful that he can't even utter one word of his name or one letter of his name without going insane. I failed to see the connection here. All she said was, I had a weird library, okay? And I went, fair.
I feel as dad left the books out for a little while. I was like,
she got into dad's study and just kind of went, okay, let's read Lovecraftian tales.
Oh, that big black book that seems to be radiating evil.
Yeah. The Necronomicon. Page 1.
It was the best of times, it was the worst of times. Oh god, a giant squid monster from hell. I could do with actually sitting there to read the Necronomicon, because other than just knowing the story points or just from like Wikipedia guides, because I just one of the things you click one link,
and the wormhole opens, and you're
4 hours later I was like, oh god, what the hell?
Why do I know what the offspring of Cthulhu is called?
All 12 of them.
Yep. No, this is apparently Cthulhu can just send versions of himself into different realities, and they're just called Chuuls. Chuuls. You can just, rip off a tentacle and throw that into another reality, and there's just mini Cthulhu.
I give you this piece of the squid.
Here's my dick.
There's a separate name for Cthulhu's dick. There we go. Episode title. Probably.
H.P. Lovecraft was a weird dude. He said the idea for Cthulhu just came fully formed in a dream or something like that.
Jesus.
Obviously, if you watch Supernatural, there was the whole thing where he was visited by demons, and this is what gave him the idea for Cthulhu. But if you apparently read into H.P. Lovecraft, there's some horrendous thing that allowed him to just think of Cthulhu.
Probably not a happy childhood.
Probably a little bit disturbed.
Maybe touching the head.
Yes. Yeah.
Probably touched something.
Yep.
Oh boy.
Yep.
He went to an all-Catholic boys' school. Oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
The janitor did what?
I've been watching random podcast clips, and I didn't know that Grace Helbig had her own podcast.
Yeah.
Not too deep. It was just because, as per usual, going through random comedy clips, and Bert Kreischer pops up, and just see that he was on it. I was like, it's an odd pairing, but it was good. It was a good podcast.
Yeah. When you watch, if you go on YouTube and just say if you start at the most often used podcast starting point, which is Joe Rogan. Yeah. If you look at Joe Rogan, just say, I really liked his interview with Joey Diaz, then you follow that and you say, Joey Diaz was on what the hell's he was on Bill Burr's podcast, the Monday Morning, was it the Monday Morning podcast?
Monday Morning podcast.
Then you just keep following that down. He was on Bert Kreischer's podcast, and Bert Kreischer was on this
Tom Segura's show.
He was on Tom Segura, then Tom Segura knows Grace Helbig, and Grace Helbig knows these people. And it's just, there's a lot of interconnections between podcasters, because they just kind of, almost like some kind of ball of fucking hamsters just rolling over each other. There's a lot of connection. I think it's at some point podcasting became huge. And it's a lot of the comedians have actually been there from the ground up. Like that's something we should really point out, is that like the first major podcast was Mark Maron. Yeah, and although I think Mark Maron, he did a lot of podcasts, but I think he's only just slightly behind or slightly in front of Jimmy Pardo. Jimmy Pardo, he got
A lot of people put Mark Maron first. I don't know why.
Jimmy Pardo, when I stopped listening to him, was on about 2,500 odd episodes. He was up there. I think Mark Maron might have more, but I don't listen to his podcast.
Mark Maron was there, I think, first. I think don't know how many episodes he puts out, but I think he was doing like a weekly thing.
Yeah.
And he was, I think he's referred to as him and Adam Carolla apparently are.
He got in a lot of trouble. Like certain comments and stuff that he made. I didn't really look at it because I just thought, Adam Carolla, he does a lot of stuff with Kevin Smith.
Yeah.
Or he did some podcasts with Kevin Smith.
He was the voice of Death on Family Guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's the only thing I knew him from. And then all of a sudden he turns out he's the big shit in podcasting. I'm like, interesting. Did not know that. Although
apparently it's just one of those long line of one fucking hell, I can't talk. One in those very long line of comedians that got in trouble for saying something out of context, or what I call the Bill Burr effect. When Bill Burr, particularly because I was listening to it on the way up here and been listening to it for the past couple of days, because it's about a 3-hour podcast that he did with Joe Rogan.
Right.
I've just been listening to the most recent episode with Bill Burr.
He did 1219, I think it was. Yeah.
Yeah, well, it was a quite recent one, and just a lot of things that he said in there could be clipped and used against him.
Yeah.
They could be cut edited in a certain way that could make him seem very unfavourable.
He did alright though. It was he's said a lot worse, and he's said a lot of it on stage with a mic and a camera.
Yeah, like the bit that he has about there's the reasons to hit women.
Yeah, there's never a reason to not hit a woman.
Yeah, and there's plenty, and all he says in that point is there's plenty of reasons to hit a woman. You still shouldn't do it. A woman could be, getting on your case. You could hit her. You shouldn't hit her. You better not hit her, but you still have a reason to hit her. That probably did get him in a lot of trouble. Let's be fair.
Oh yeah. That and his general stance on needing a planetary-wide kind of just a little bit of a thinning of the herd. 3 specials in a row now he'd be yelling about this, and you're going to fucking listen.
It was his stance on, he's talking about, I don't get why people are still harping on about this, but the whole standards of beauty thing. It's mostly comedians that are talking about it. It's just people are saying that women are being held to an unnecessary standard of beauty.
Oh right, the top of the Joe Rogan clip. Yeah, there was the thing of the UK is going to ban certain ads. Yeah, and if adverts, you can't.
I think it's ads that portray an unrealistic or unobtainable body type or something.
Yeah, unattainable body types and stereotypical gender roles.
Yeah,
you can show there's like caveats in there to make it like you can't just have a woman in the kitchen. A guy should be also shown in the kitchen.
Yeah.
You can't just show a guy doing construction work. You should show the woman doing construction work as well.
Yeah.
You need to just show both sides doing the same jobs, which is fair,
I
guess.
Totally agree with that, and I do think that.
I think it all sparked from a very bad Tesco ad from like 2 years back over Christmas, where the mum just fucking lost it, like trying to organise Christmas, and it gets made to sit at the kiddie table. Yeah, like that was bad. That was fucking
you all
stupid.
got in trouble for that one, didn't you? But I kind of agree with that. Just talking about it, like there shouldn't be sort of pigeonholed gender roles. I mean, if you want to be a dude and you want to be a makeup artist, do it. There shouldn't be anything to stop you. But I don't really agree with the whole. We're all held to an unobtainable standard of beauty. No one's been held to anything. No one's going to look at a supermodel and say, I must be that, unless you're a teenager.
Yeah, but then part of the argument is that as guys, we don't feel that way.
Yeah.
But then there's a woman out there who just feels this weird societal pressure we just aren't aware of. That we just look at it and say, we're fine. Or, we can get better. Yeah, we'll do it this way. Whereas, like, with women, there's a lot more focus on them, the way they look. Whereas we absolutely just do not detect it. It just goes right over the head. So, yeah.
I think it probably also comes from the fact that, like you said, men just don't really... Obviously, we still kind of put a bit of effort into our appearance, but we're not held to some kind of, you must be chiseled, you must be this all the time. We're just, nope, I'm going to make me some goddamn chicken wings, grab me a couple of beers, I'm going to sit and watch the game. That's going to be my Saturday night. Well, that's incredibly douchey this part sounds.
I did actually...
Not a fan. What? Not a fan of this bit. I started it, but I'm not a fan. If we had a lot of followers, I think they'd just be going, Dom Anderson, you piece of shit.
I watched It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia.
Yeah.
Season 13 dropped on Netflix for the UK after an entire day of delays. I actually think at one point I was watching it on Netflix on the computer, downloaded the app because Google Chrome kind of eating some shit recently. It's taking up way too much of that precious RAM.
I've been using Chrome for a couple of years now. I've had no issue with it.
Yeah, just with Netflix it was getting laggy. Don't know what it was.
Right, yeah.
And I used the app and then put on the Always Sunny episodes, and there's a weird green line around certain things that are moving. Turns out that wasn't Netflix. That's just an issue that you can have with display settings, and there are not a lot of good like Googleable answers that you get. The last one I saw was from a tech forum from 2016, and that guy didn't actually get his question answered. I'm pretty sure somebody gave him kind of an answer, but it involves going to a bunch of files. But at the same time, I don't think that's like the answer he was looking for.
That's not the proper answer. That's just the kind of, it might work.
It's like, yeah, when the first response is, hey, can you try using a different video card?
Yeah, sure, let me just go and sort through my pile of video cards.
Yeah. Hold on, I'll just pop my spare 1080 Titan out of the fucking other computer I've got. But no,
go and find the other NVIDIA.
Weirdly enough, I just changed my settings to get the 2 monitor setup. I just switched it from 1 monitor to 2 monitors, then 1 again. Totally fine.
Nice.
No fucking clue what I did there. Totally fine.
I bungled my way through that. It's all good.
But if you want to talk about a guy who has like went full blown chiseled, Rob McElhenney from It's Always Sunny.
He
ripped Mac is fucking amazing.
He kind of done the Michael B. Jordan thing, because Michael B. Jordan, he was always one of those kind of in-shape people.
Yeah.
Then you see him in Creed. Then you see him in fucking Black Panther. Just fucking calm down. You're going to burst something.
Well, if you saw, have you watched much of It's Always Sunny?
It's on my to watch list.
Yeah, it's just good. It's a really funny show. It's mostly just about, here are 5 shitty people. What are they going to do in a given situation?
In fact, no, I'll tell you why I haven't started watching it. Because I was going to start watching it, then I watched Pacific Rim Uprising. And Charlie Day's character is the worst bad guy. Not in a sense of, holy crap, this guy is so evil. Just he's a shit bad guy.
Yeah.
Just
disappointing.
Just incredibly disappointing. Then when I watched the first couple of episodes of It's Always Sunny, I just thought, nope, it's still too fresh.
It's distracting.
I just bought this Blu-ray. It cost me £15, and I'm not happy with it.
No, I'd give it. If you had enough time, go and watch it.
Not enough time has passed.
He's a totally different character, and he's phenomenally good at being Charlie.
Yeah.
And I've just seen.
Yeah, his name's Charlie Day, and he plays a character called Charlie.
Yeah.
It's a bit of a stretch.
Yeah. He's really pushing himself out there. The thing is, this started as like a thing they did out of college. So obviously they weren't thinking about doing very much. Like, they filmed it, like, it's one of those classic things of the person who isn't on screen is filming with a shitty camcorder, and then they sell that tape to like Fox or whatever. So that's been like the way they filmed, the way it's been done for ages.
And didn't he just on a whim get in touch with Danny DeVito's representation and say,
almost like as a joke.
Yeah.
So I bet you fucking won't do it. And he sent the thing to Danny. He was like, I fucking love the show.
Nice.
This is awesome. I want to be involved. And he got involved, and he's been there from like season 2.
Yeah, season 2 on.
Absurdly. I mean, I just watched. I could only watch the episodes today just for timing, because I went to watch Birdbox. But I watched episode 1 and 2, and it was just like classic shenanigans of the gang. First one is dealing with the fact that Dennis is now back after season 12 because he disappears for a bit at the end and then comes back. And then episode 2 is just like a regular episode. Or they do an escape room. So it's one of those classic things of, what happens if you put 5 assholes in a room and just make them yell at each other? I'd say a lot of the episodes could be summarised that way for It's Always Sunny. But then I watched, just because I'd heard so much about it, was Mac Finds His Pride. And he'd been hinting at the fact that one of the characters might have been gay. And he was overcompensating the whole time. That's why he was like, yeah, I'm going to fucking tons of women. Yeah, I'm fucking, that's all I do is just smash pussy. Yeah, fucking, I'm the man.
Yeah.
And it turns out he might actually be gay. And it's handled really fucking well.
Yeah.
And there's a great episode where they kind of say that he's out of the closet, called Hero or Hate Crime. Where Danny DeVito's character yells at Mac. He says, "Get out of the way, you faggot." And then everyone knows it's Mac, because everyone knows everyone's like, come on, Mac's gay. And then it results in him being saved from something. And he, in return, gets a lottery ticket that could be worth $10,000. The question is, did Frank, Danny DeVito's character, commit a hate crime by calling him a fag, or did he save him, making him a hero? Nobody, and it's like legal arbitration about the same fucking argument for about 20 minutes. Fucking hysterical. It's probably one of my favourite episodes of the show so far, but then they've come back to it to explain.
Yeah, just to kind of break it down.
Mac's actually gay. And he got ripped for that dancing scene. Fucking hysterical. The amount of commitment he's put into it, like going fat, like going hugely fat. Went fat for a season and worked it back to normal, and then has then swung it the other way
Just
to be ripped. It's hilarious.
It's something that I'm quite glad is getting more exposure as the whole. Not I was about to say just to shut people up, but I realise that's the complete wrong thing to do. But I'm quite glad that it's becoming normalised now. It's just people saying, "Oh, that character's gay," and there's not that kind of immediate "Excuse me, I shall fan myself while you explain yourself, young man."
Clutching the pearls and
just explain yourself, because in Overwatch, you know what Overwatch is, obviously.
Yeah, they recently announced that Soldier 76 is gay.
Yeah, and a lot of people are saying, "I'm not playing it anymore." Why? What stops you? Sure, Soldier 76 is gay, but does he play any differently? His backstory is slightly different now because he's a gay character.
Yeah,
you're going to be able to see Soldier 76, the character that you've been playing as for so long, and you've kind of seen a bit of his backstory, how he's kind of a battle-hardened mercenary.
Yeah.
What does it change your outlook? Well, what does it change your story one iota if he's gay?
Yeah.
One of the best ways that this has been handled is in Voltron. The main character, Shiro, who's voiced by Josh Keaton. Josh Keaton has voiced Spider-Man and so many fucking things.
All right.
He's been in quite a few like sort of games and things. He's lesser known, I'd say, but he's still pretty good voice actor. His character Shiro, who's the paladin / pilot of the Black Line, which is the kind of leader, it was found out in one series that he was gay because he goes up to the war memorial and he sees that his boyfriend at the time's been killed. They handle it very well. They don't linger on it. They don't. All the other members don't have this kind of.
Nobody sits down to discuss it or anything like that. It's just like,
no
he's gay. Okay.
Just oh shit, we forgot about that because we were out, fighting to save the universe.
Yeah.
We were fighting, alien warlords and our giant lion robot machine.
Yeah. So guess it never really came up.
We forgot about that. We should go and comfort him.
Yeah.
Yeah. As long as they handle it well and they don't make it a big thing, which is what annoyed me about before they were making before they went into production of Batman vs Superman, they were talking about making the Flash gay. I thought, fair enough. Doesn't change the Flash's character. But the fact that they were saying, "Oh, this is going to be a focal point of his story," I went, "No, don't do that. Have it kind of be there. Explain it, but don't just like slap people in the face with it. Just go, Flash is gay. What the fuck are you going to do about it? Yeah. You're going to have a reaction to this. You're going to be offended by this.
This will shock you. It's a superhero movie. I'm just going to watch it, consume popcorn, leave the cinema, and
you're going to bust at your fan and go, "I couldn't take it, mother."
I'll give it a 4.5 out of 5 when I walk out the cinema. Who gives a fuck?
Exactly, it's going to be a superhero movie. Yeah, just don't beat people over the head with it.
Yeah,
it's not that taboo anymore. Let's just keep normalising it until people just go, "Oh, you gay? Cool."
Yeah.
What pizza do you want?
That's great and all, but seriously, like, pizza order.
Dude, we're fucking starving. Get your shit together.
Pepperoni or what?
If you say ham and pineapple, I'm throwing you out the motherfucking window. I will tolerate only so much.
It's not a ham and pineapple.
It's fucking hard.
It's a weirdly volatile sticking point. It feels like all the energy we took out of like homophobia in like the last couple of years has gone into ham and pineapple. I don't know what it is.
I'll accept you if you're gay, but you better not fucking put ham and pineapple on the same goddamn pizza.
I
don't know. It's the oddest combination of just because you get the ham, you get the sweet, you get the salty there, then you get the pineapple. And I'm not the biggest fan of cooked pineapple. Right. When I get it in a sweet and sour, I pick it out.
I like cooked pineapple.
It takes their own. It doesn't hurt anybody. It's fucking weird.
It's abnormal. You should see a therapist or a priest.
An exorcist, motherfucker. There's a demon inside you.
Listen, when we get some electroshock therapy, you'll be perfectly fine. You go spend some time with your aunt upstate. Okay, she'll read you the Bible every night until you get over this sickness you've got called putting ham and pineapple on pizza, motherfucker.
Would it distract you if I said I was gay? No, we accept that now.
That's not the issue here.
You take the pineapple. You see a Del Monte truck and go, that would look good in a pizza.
I do want to get your opinion on. It's just on the same vein of like out over the top reactions and food stuff. Greg's have introduced a veggie sausage roll.
Oh, the vegan sausage roll.
Yeah.
People's reaction to it pisses me off.
It's so fucking stupid, isn't it?
If you don't want, it's not if look at it, because we're both fans of just the cold, logical business, like the cold, logical stance.
Yeah.
For Greg's the Baker to appeal to a wider audience, they need to cater for more dietary means. They need to cater for all dietary requirements. Having a
veganism, vegetarianism is becoming a
sausage
bigger
roll
thing,
is not going to fucking destroy Greg's. If anything, they're going to see the vegan sausage roll and they're going to go in and try it. If they love it or hate it, that's fine. But it's not anything to get up in arms about. Yeah. Are you going to get annoyed in a few years' time where they make a halal sausage roll? Actually, there can never be a halal sausage roll because Muslims can't
beef sausage.
I suppose it's good, but Muslims can't eat pork. So.
Yeah, but you can just have beef.
Yeah, you can have beef sausage. Yeah. Are you going to get annoyed when they make a halal sausage roll?
Actually, I do remember that being a big issue a couple of years back when there was certain restaurants or certain places were saying that they were halal. It was like a chain restaurant where, we're going to do halal meat from now on. And people were up in arms about that. Not so much for the Muslim thing, more the actual practice of halal killing is fucking brutal.
Yeah. Taste-wise, you would genuinely not even detect it.
Yeah.
Tastes exactly the same. If anything, if you want to be totally pernickety about it, if you have a halal steak, it is slightly drier. Just a tiny bit drier.
I wouldn't notice that.
You would never even notice it. I mean, I have my steak blue. That's 20 seconds each side. I'm not going to notice anything.
Yeah. It's going to be leaking. I guarantee you. It's going to be that dry.
If I can press my fork down on the steak and something comes out, that's it. I'll eat the damn thing.
But yeah, the reaction to it was good. I do like the fact that they just said, okay, social media team, all 10 of you will be on shift today, and your job today is just to be bitchy on Twitter.
Yeah, just wait till Piers Morgan shows up.
Yeah, I'm very unsure because the whole thing was the social media team was great about just going in. People, this is outrageous. Can't believe we're making a veggie sausage roll. And then people would come in, and the social media team would reply, "You know the actual sausage roll's still going to be there, right?
Yeah,
like it's not going to make any difference to you.
The steak bakes aren't disappearing. You're still going to be able to get your horrible Z grade beef and pastry.
Don't worry, it'll still be there for you tomorrow morning, Greg." And then there was a whole series of those responses, and then Piers Morgan shows up. And Piers Morgan, for those of you who are blessed enough to not know, is
those who live in blissful ignorance.
He's just a waste of a brain.
Yeah, I kind of lump him and Katie Hopkins into the one just human wasted jizz category.
They're just these extremely opinionated people who like to make noise and gain attention for themselves solely for the purpose of gaining attention for themselves. Yeah. Somehow they just keep winding in this and profiting it into money somehow.
I'm probably going to get in a bit of trouble for saying this if this does kind of hit a certain audience, but I kind of lump Milo Yiannopoulos into that. Milo Yiannopoulos, an insanely intelligent man, has very good points to make. I just think he's far too antagonistic about it.
Alright, yeah, see where you're going with. He's a contrarian, he's an antagonist, just for the sake of it.
Just for the sake of it, just for the sake of his own brand. Dude, you're a smart man. You have the privilege of intelligence. Don't waste it being this venomous.
Yeah.
But yeah. That's I do agree with you. These people they're deliberately antagonistic just for the sake of, their own brand or their own personal gain.
The thing for me though was that when he comes in and then everyone knew this was coming, we could all just kind of feel it. Right? Yeah. Oh, there it is. There's that shaking. The glass is shaking on the table. Here comes the T-Rex. Rippling. And he comes in and he starts yelling out, blah, 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 so vegan sausage roll.
It's gone mad.
Absolutely bloody bonkers.
Absolutely bloody bonkers. Political correctness has gone mad.
Madness. And just
fetch the riding crops, we shall ride over Westminster and complain about this. Hi!
And you just and give a fuck. And then all the response from the Greg's team was, Mr. Morgan, we've been expecting you.
Absolute brilliance.
The only thing is, people were like, that's it, they just fucking wrecked them. They ended Piers Morgan. You're like,
they didn't.
No.
If anything, they welcomed him.
They just said, we've been expecting you. Like, yeah, we all were expecting him. Like, it's a thing of, whenever you get and it seems to be, a weirdly liberal thing. And it's a weird thing I don't get is, all you have to do is just kind of half-ass the joke. And because you're on the, kind of the liberal progressive side, you get the points. You don't have to finish it through, that was a good setup.
Completion.
Yeah, when Piers Morgan comes and goes, blah, 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 Greg will go, we've been expecting you. I'm like, okay, punchline. Hit him with the finisher.
Hit him with the hammer, yeah.
Hit him with the combo. You had another one stored, right? No, that was all they did. Yeah. And I don't think that would fly in any other circle other than veganism. There's other responses, and I was like, oh my god, they fucking got him. I'm like, you need to get them with something.
I mean, they started a joke. Maybe they're going to finish it next week. When they're busy counting their vegan sausage roll money.
Get great parry. You need the riposte.
Yeah. You've blocked one hit, now counter.
Yeah.
Hit him with a counter punch.
Anyway, just that was the funniest thing on British social media this week was just the outrage of I can't believe it. They're diversifying their market.
Yeah, they're appealing to a wider audience and
Those
to make
shits.
money. Those shills, those bastards.
I did see that. I did see the phrase, those vegan shills.
Vegan shills.
The fuck is that? Boy, calm your ass down. There was actual issues in the world.
Yeah, the one thing that started to bug me about vegans is the fact that they're fucking everywhere now. That you see, there's billboards saying "Go vegan, save a cow" or something. Go vegan, save a life. I was like, yeah, okay.
I have bad news for you. Every cow you don't eat, I see that as an opportunity. I am very sorry, vegans, but I'm pretty sure that since this whole thing is...
We have numbers to meet. The fact that you're not pulling your own weight means I have to eat more. It's your fucking fault.
I have to eat double.
You have to eat double the steak.
I get the feeling that the less meat is going to be a progressive thing that will be an actual thing we need to look at. And with climate change and with various different things we're trying to tackle, I think a lower meat diet will become a bigger thing.
I genuinely think just the amount of meat that we are consuming right now is not sustainable. I think we're basically devouring more meat that we can produce, and given the fact that
the problem is we are actually producing it. We're getting there. We're doing a damn good job of making meat. Yeah. The problem is I think we're making too much. I think we need to cut it down to I look at it as maybe more Mediterranean. We're a northern culture.
Yeah,
we eat meat and potatoes.
We eat crap.
Yeah,
the Mediterranean diet is. I'm not going to say it's tastier, but it's definitely better for you.
It's more varied.
All the oils, all the fish, all the fruits, a lot of wine though. Far too much wine.
We can replace that with beer. We'll figure it out. But there's a general shift away from starchy vegetables to just green vegetables.
Yeah,
I think that'll help. The only thing is that I would actually love to eat more fish. We are kind of ripping the fish out the sea at this point.
Yeah, we're kind of we're not doing good on the whole overfishing front. We're kind of
we need to sort that out. And I think the problem is if you step people away from eating red meat, which is a big issue, and I think that's a big contributor to deforestation. Like South America, they just rip out like huge chunks of the Amazon to make more cow grazing lands.
Yeah.
That is just what they do. So it's just to produce burgers. So we need to kind of cut that down. But the response to that is, let's go eat more fish.
Yeah. You remember the overfishing problems that we had a couple of years ago? We're kind of speeding that problem up.
Those things we haven't fixed.
Yeah. That said, though, if you go to any of the countries that have that heavy Mediterranean diet and you have, say, properly fresh fish, it is a taste you will never experience in this country.
Still obsessed with paella.
Paella is so fucking good. When I was over in Spain for the rugby tournament, after the last game, they had this massive sort of Captain America shield full of fucking paella, and it was chicken and rabbit. Holy fuck, it was good. I had about 6 bowls. Just like I hadn't eaten all day because I knew that they were making paella. Our guide, can't remember her name. It began with an A, but I can't remember. I could probably try and pronounce it, but I'd butcher it. Yeah. So yeah, our tour guide, she said you will love it. Right, try not to eat too much today. So I think I had about an apple all day. And then I basically just I was like a kid on fucking Christmas Eve because I was just every taco that I made, I was bouncing back up to them feet and just paella. Then when they got there and I got handed almost like someone took Raiden from Mortal Kombat's hat, tipped it upside down and just filled it with paella. I was just sitting there munching away going, oh fuck, it's so good. Yeah. I genuinely moved to Spain and just eat nothing but paella. I actually got a paella pan for my Christmas. Yeah. So I will be making some paella soon.
Nice.
I'm looking forward to it. Throw a bit of salmon in there.
No. Get the prawns in there.
Nah, I can't fucking stand
prawns. Get the mussels, go like full seafood.
Go full seafood. It's something I want to try. I want to try newer food, so I might try it. But if not, I'm going straight back to the chicken and rabbit. That was fucking delicious.
Yeah, I would be very interested to see if we can get good rabbit around here. You should.
Well, I mean, I live next to the woods, so.
I gotta say, I'm thinking right now, when was the last time I saw a rabbit? Oh yeah, that rugby field over the road. They like to scamper in and out of there.
Remember that road in between Bowness and Grangemouth? I'm just going there with a bow.
Oh yeah, that was really bad, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, that place is just swarming with the little shits.
Exactly. I just go down there with my dogs who are, ratters. Yeah. Catch little fuckers, no problem. Though my new latest food revelation is something that I actually text you about, biltong.
Oh yeah.
We started getting it in the rugby club. Turns out one of the people that used to play in my rugby team now lives down in the Lake District and just has a biltong company. They basically just get all these meats imported in, and they do whatever process it is to cure the meat in the sort of South African spices,
Yeah.
and they just make that and different types of beef jerky, and they send it up to the rugby club, and they sell it for about £1.50 a bag, and you get a fuck ton in it. So every time after training on a Thursday, I'll just go in, just take a couple bags home. Then I've tried Jack Link's
All right.
biltong. It's not as good, not as fresh, but it's fucking biltong. It's my new thing.
I'd be a big fan of
delicious.
jerky. It's expensive though.
Salty.
It's worth it. Actually, I don't mind the salty stuff. I quite like salty foods.
Yeah. No, it's just that it's not that I quite like salty foods as well, especially during soup season when no one in my family knows how to properly season a bowl of soup. So there's a lot of good ingredients in there, but it just tastes like you've shoved all these ingredients in water. Throw in an oxo cube or throw in some stock or something, give it a bit of taste.
Yeah. Quick question though. The most important question of the night. Chunky or purified soup?
Chunky.
Chunky all the way.
Has to be chunky. If I'm eating a bowl of soup and I don't get a half a fucking potato in there, I'm sending it back.
No, I think it's soup.
It's not soup.
Yeah.
I think, again, it's something that we were raised on over here, particularly in Scotland. It's just, we never really had access we never had access to stuff to be able to liquefy soups.
The thing is, though,
just-
my dad liquefies all his soups, but I like them chunky. No, it's just a weird personal taste thing.
Yeah. I think it might just, I kind of, thinking about it, I retract that whole hand liquefiers thing. I think it's just because when people get a recipe from some place, it's always about, this is how my granny taught me how to make soup, so we kind of keep making it in that style. And on my mum's side of the family, they always made sort of massive batches of just chunky soup, and it always just tasted better, so that's how we keep doing it. But if we ever go around to my oldest brother's place for dinner or something, his wife always makes sort of liquefied soups. They don't taste much different, but at the same time, if I'm eating a bowl of soup, I want to be able to, bite into a massive potato or eat some carrots or something, or get a little bit of meat in there, a little bit of chicken or something.
It is a personal taste thing, but yeah, I do enjoy like the chunks.
Yeah, I think it's just it adds a little bit of taste to it.
Yeah, that
It just
and
makes it better.
I started cooking like ham hock soups as well. You just drop the meat in there and just take it out after a couple of hours, just start hacking meat off.
If you do it properly, you don't even need to cut the meat. You could take a spoon and just scrape the meat off the bone if you do it right.
There's way too many fat and tendon bits in there though, just because of the joint.
Yeah,
you got.
I'm not saying that you should. I'm saying if you wanted to, you could just scrape it all off. But
I take the time to just
get all the good cuts.
Get weirdly surgical with it as well.
Oh yeah,
I try and get the fat off in one go. If you can't do that, you're not even bothered.
Yeah.
Don't even bother.
You start curving the knife to try and cut around bits of fat so you can just get all the meat.
Oh yeah,
That's the good thing about having dogs, particularly one dog that's getting quite skinny. Like I feed him a fuck ton, but I don't know what it is. He just gets quite skinny.
Uh-oh.
Took him to a vet twice. He's healthy, but he just for some reason he just can't retain fat. So every time I'm making, for example, what I made for dinner tonight, I made some tandoori beef. It just literally the dog sat at my left foot, just cut this bit of steak, drop it down, nothing on the floor. Spud sitting there with a very happy look on his face. He's going, "Hurry up, more."
Where is the rest of the meat, Papa?
Just dude, hurry up, I'm hungry. But the one thing the vet did say is, it's like your dog's very healthy. I was like, that's good to know. How old is he? I said he's about 11. He went, physically, he's not 11. I think my dog is some kind of fucking time traveller because he may be 11 in years, but doctors say he's kind of anatomically, physically, he's about say 6 or 7. It's like, how does that work? And he went, he's just very healthy, very well taken care of. I was like, thank you, doctor.
Excellent. Can you just wait a minute? Just open the door. You say that again.
Say that again.
My mum's in the waiting room. I just want her to hear that.
She didn't want to get the dog.
Yeah, we actually discussed the idea of doing our own cured meat biltong or jerky.
I am in for that.
I can't find good cuts of meat for some reason right now. I really want to go looking for it, but everything I've got is got marbled with tons of fat, and I just want meat. I just want that good. I'm looking for basically stir fry beef.
Yeah,
but for some reason it's not there. I assume it's because it's the winter and everyone's those big. Just after New Year as well.
Yeah, everyone's looking for the big sort of silver side cuts and.
It's those big cuts, and they've always got that butter thing on it as well. And I'm like, just meat.
Yeah, I'm trying to think. There's a butcher in Falkirk, Thomas Johnson's, that does really good cuts of steak. But I think they might be the sort of same thing, marbled with the fat and stuff in there. I'm genuinely talking. I think the last steak I had was a couple of weeks ago, and that had no fat on it whatsoever. It was a delicious cut steak, but I doubt they'd be able to tell you where they got the meat from.
I'm going to try... I've tried 2 of the 3 shops that I'd go to around here. After that, I'm going to Butcher's, but I'm going to go down and check that one tomorrow. So I've got some shopping to do.
Yeah.
So I'll be checking that, and if I can find something, I'll let you know. Next week, or next podcast, we'll probably be chewing on stuff.
Oh, yeah. It's just, you know, when you find something new, you find a new food, and it kind of reshapes how you look at food. Like, probably the same thing happened to you with when you found chilies and different kind of hot sauces and stuff. It just changed the way you cook. Now, I don't. If I'm wanting a snack or something, I don't look for chocolate or crisps or something. I'll just say, do I have any biltong in the house? Yeah, like a little portion of biltong or something. Do you till breakfast or lunch or whatever the fuck meal you'd be having.
Actually, what the last thing that did that for me was burritos, and that was just because I found a burrito place. I'm like, oh, I love this thing.
Oh, yeah, I know.
I'll eat this place constantly. Yeah. I went there recently, and
the nachos that I got. The last time I went there, I got a bowl of nachos, and I'm pretty sure it took me about 2 days to eat the full thing. There's so much in this one bowl.
I went to the place.
It needs to be hotter though with the nachos.
Really?
They don't really heat them up.
Oh, right, it's actual physical heat. Yeah. I don't actually have the nachos. I'm like, if you want hot sauce, they got hot sauce.
Yeah, I know they got hot sauce. But they use sort of liquid cheese.
Yeah.
I prefer grated cheese because when you melt the grated cheese, then it hardens, you get that nice crispy cheese. I love that, especially on a nacho.
They're going for that Texas queso though.
Yeah.
Which is something I need to find out, because I've heard people talking about the queso and they're like, oh, they put beans in it. And I'm like, excuse me?
That sounds...
Can I get that?
Yeah, that sounds kind of intriguing. I'd be up for that.
It's going to be severely, like, if we're going to find it if we're lactose intolerant. When we try this shit.
Way too much milk. I'd pretty much know if I was lactose intolerant.
Yeah, but I went there, and it was the last time I went up. They were trying out this smoky barbecue sauce. Oh, we made like this new salsa, but it's more smoky and it's quite hot. Really? He goes, yeah. I'm starting to warn people about it, because I've had some people come back to me and say that was hot.
Way too hot.
I'm like, how hot is it? She goes, it might be hotter than our hot salsa. I'm like, your hot salsa is good shit. Like, I really want to try this now. And I actually went back. I was like, this week. I was like, oh, okay, this. You get hot stuff. She goes, oh, you've got the smoky hot sauce. I'm like, oh, that's still on. I'll take some of that. She goes,
give me some.
It is hot. And I'm like, yes.
Just look at her and go, I'll decide.
I know. I know. I tried this the day it came out, and it was delicious. I like that sting. I'm very disappointed to find that place. Good news that it's on like delivery services. Bad news is it's on. It finishes at 5. I actually meant to talk about this earlier on.
Yeah.
But Dom's trying to figure out if he can talk about something that he's unsure of, while he's just sorting out things in his head. I watched Birdbox just as come upstairs.
I remember what was I want to talk about, but no, Birdbox first.
That movie, you said you've heard a bit of decisive yes and no.
I've heard
divisive.
a lot of people saying that it's been predominantly a lot of people saying, good God, that was fucking great. It's something that I've never really seen before, something I've not experienced. The other people, because if I'm right in saying Birdbox, it's not a movie that holds your hand through the movie.
No.
You're left to think and imagine, or think up and imagine what the kind of scenario is, because they're blindfolded for most of it.
Yeah, the premise of the movie, and they don't actually explain very much of it, and part of what I want to say before I get lost in conversation about this is that if they try and make a sequel to this, or if they try and explain it, they will fuck it up. Guarantee you that. It is a really good movie. I really like it. I do think it's it's very simple concept of you don't take your you don't take off your blindfold, you don't look at what's in the sky, because what's in the sky or what's around you will drive you insane and make you want to kill yourself. The only thing is that actually, if you're already mentally unhinged, if you're insane, you aren't affected the same way. So most people go crazy and kill themselves.
Okay.
And that leads to a really weird... We've watched tons of zombie films. You've all seen the outbreak scene about 1,000 times, where somebody goes to the hospital and just so happens to be there on day 1 of the infection.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden...
that kind of Day Zero.
Day Zero is quite interesting in a film. It can be very fucking fun. As like a kind of chaos scene where nobody knows what's going on.
Yeah,
and they're just trying to react
that kind of headless chicken scene where people are just going, oh, what are we doing?
This, I'd say, has probably one of the best Day Zero films, or Day Zero kind of zombie infection things going on I've seen ever. It goes from like being creepy to being intense in 5 minutes.
All right.
Or not even 5 minutes, 1 or 2 minutes. And it ramps up perfectly. I was like, holy shit, they did this right. But also the film itself sticks to its rules. and that is part of the terrifying realization of the way that it plays forward in the one storyline of Sandra Bullock getting these kids down the river.
Yeah, Sandra Bullock's in it?
Yeah.
Did not know that.
Half of the planet is just discovering Sandra Bullock. I'm like, do you people not have mothers? Your mum has every Sandra Bullock movie.
Yeah.
Go talk to your mother about who Sandra Bullock is.
She will make you watch Miss Congeniality. You will not be happy with it, but you'll know who Sandra Bullock is.
And like the forward storyline is Sandra Bullock rafting down a river with 2 kids. The thing that happens was that she keeps looping back to the immediate aftermath. I think the main storyline takes place 5 years forward. The majority of the film takes place in the first 2 weeks, I'd say. Where people are trying to figure out
2 weeks after the big event or whatever.
Yeah. So it's the first 2 weeks that people try to figure out what the hell's going on, what they can do, what is affected, and then there's like a time skip to introduce the boy and the girl. And it's really well done. I loved it. There's a lot of people I saw on like our filmmakers, people like, I don't get it.
Yeah.
There's nothing special about this film. And I'm like, but it's just really well done.
That was the other half of the sort of the other half of the argument that I've seen. Like I said, a lot of people loved it. A lot of people saying it was really good cinema. Other people saying that it wasn't. There was too much. There was too much left to the imagination. They didn't really explain that much all the time. It was just, here's what the premise is. Deal with it yourself.
Yeah.
Again, it's probably.
The thing for me though is that
probably
when
not
is
a bad
that ever
thing.
an issue?
Yeah, just when stuff gets left to your imagination, it's usually a good thing. Pulp Fiction, one of the best movies of all time. The reason why you get invested in it, and especially with the briefcase with Vincent and is it Jules? Samuel Jackson's character?
Yeah.
You get invested with him because you don't know what's in the briefcase. The briefcase is what's left to your imagination. There's many different theories out there that say it's just gold, or it's money, it's valuables. Other theories saying that it's a human soul, and that Jules and Vincent are reapers. It's left in the imagination, and I think that's kind of one of many things that makes Pulp Fiction a fucking fantastic movie.
Yeah.
And I think with Birdbox that'll be the same thing. It's left to your imagination, so you can build up or decrease whatever that is.
The good thing about it is that you only know what the characters know.
Yeah.
You're never going to find out what the hell the thing is that's actually driving people crazy. And I did actually Google halfway through what is the monster, and then nobody actually has an answer. There's a suspicious leak of something from like an art consultant or whatever who worked on the movie. Nothing concrete. You never it's never explained, never shown explicitly.
So in the movie, I'm guessing you don't see a claw or a foot or something. It's all just left to the grey matter. No,
it's all just you see them affecting the world. They have a weird thing about moving loose objects. They cause kind of little dust devils, little swirls and stuff like that. And there's one scene where there's 3 of them chasing them through the woods at the same time. That's fucking intense. But you just see them smashing stuff out the way. You only see their effect on the world. You don't actually see them.
That's pretty cool. I quite like that.
You never even see it as much as like you would expect maybe like a footprint.
Yeah.
Nothing like that. So I'm like, don't even have feet. What the fuck?
Yeah.
Now I really can't picture what the hell this is. But there was all these weird theories floating around the place, and obviously it's the hot new thing. But apparently about a third of all Netflix users, and it's like 40 plus million, 50 million.
I think it was 45 million or something. That's it.
Have seen that at least 70% of it. I'm like, dude, that is a smash hit by any means, and it's been really quite well received. But I'd say like there's parts of this film where like it's really good to make me feel uncomfortable, which is not something that happens a lot in horror movies. Normally I'm quite settled in and I know what's going to happen with this. I'm like, I don't actually know. I don't like part of this. Like it's making me a bit uncomfortable,
deeply unsettling. I think that's what goes towards making a good horror movie, because we were introduced to horror movies fairly young.
Yeah,
I mean, I think one of the first movies that me and my brothers ever watched, kind of when I was younger, was Halloween. Yeah, and I remember Michael Myers properly scared me because I couldn't picture what was underneath the mask.
You can't figure him out, right?
Yeah, he's quick, he's deadly, he's dangerous. You can't figure him out, but then you just kind of watch more, you start to settle into it a bit. The horror movies kind of got really campy for a bit.
Yeah.
Looking at you, Freddy Krueger, you pizza-faced bitch.
Bitch.
Bitch. Welcome to prime time, bitch. Then there was a few really good horror movies. Like I know people don't. People cry it's just a bad movie, but I love the movie Quiet Place.
I'm trying to remember which one that was.
That's I think the first. Quite a lot of the movie is shot in complete silence. I think all the movie might actually be shot in silence.
The one that's you got to just remember complete credit. The first like 45 minutes are complete dead silence.
Complete dead silence.
Yeah, I've not seen that one yet.
It's great.
Although actually, the running kind of comparison is Hush. You can't speak. No, sorry, Hush. You can't hear because the woman's deaf. That's a really good horror film. It's also up on Netflix. Totally recommend it. It's a very good, probably one of the best female protagonists in a movie I've seen in ages. That one is a certified badass, and she's deaf. She can't hear the killer who's running through her home trying to kill her. Wow, and you're like, one killer, one victim, whole movie, really? How are they going to pace this out? It's really well done. And then you have The Quiet Place, you can't talk, and then Birdbox, can't see.
Yeah. So what was that? Birdbox, can't see.
Yeah.
I think what I liked about The Quiet Place is the fact that I always like a film where it takes traditional horror tropes and just does something with it. Again, there's been other horror movies where you can't speak or the big bad will get you.
Yeah.
But I don't know what it was. The Quiet Place done it in a totally different way and it just works.
Mm-hmm.
Where obviously the two main characters, they want to try and save their kids.
Yeah.
But if they save their kids, they might say something and alert the monster to them. It's all just about, if we speak, we could fuck up this or fuck up that. It's just a really good premise for a movie, and there are certain points where you just feel really uneasy.
This film is going to make you feel there's two main things that I won't spoil for you, but there's two main things that made me feel really uncomfortable watching Bird Box. And I'm like, I don't know if I'm going to like how this film handles this right now. it's going to get awkward.
Of course, that's not in a bad way. That'll be in a case of no, this is going to be.
No. I think it's a very good mark of accomplishment on a film that it made me feel that way.
Yeah. I mean, there've been other horror films that made me feel uneasy, just in the sense of that's not good. Like, what was the name of the film? In fact, no. What was it? Unfriended. You ever heard that?
Yeah, that's...
Unfriended. The dark web just made me feel uneasy in a sense of.
That sounds like a sequel. Who the fuck made a sequel to Unfriended?
Apparently, the first one was really good.
Okay.
First one went down really well. Unfriended. The dark web. It made me feel uneasy and just how bad the premise was. This whole thing can be stopped if you just unplug your computer. Just log off.
Yeah, you could just not.
You could just not talk to the people in the dark web, not play their game.
I feel like there was a long run of Ouija films.
Oh, the Ouija films, yeah.
Or not even just like the Ouija films, but more like those kind of general concept of you're going to contact something from the other world. You could just not. Like this movie, like when
like Annabelle, there's a haunted doll. You could just disassemble the doll,
just eat it into a fireplace.
click, click, boom. There you go. The Nun, just don't go to that particular church.
Yeah,
problem solved.
I think The Nun though was part of. Oh, what's his name? Shit, what was it?
That was the Conjuring.
Conjuring, yeah.
Yeah.
I see something about that.
I think there's the whole series of the films is there's the Conjuring, there's Annabelle, and then there's the Nun. And
yeah, it's all part of the Conjuring universe.
Yeah, and there's going to be another film based on the Smiley guy. He's a really he's pretty cool. He kind of looks like a Zelda character if they just grew him up and made him look creepy.
I can't think who that is.
His name's not the Smiley Man, but
the immediate one I think
we can't both be on phones, so I'm gonna put my phone.
The immediate one I think of is just always a red-faced demon. That guy, it looks like Darth Maul.
Yeah,
that guy. There was a revelation at one point during one of those films that was like, holy shit, about that the Darth Maul looking guy, and once you realise how it all tied together, like, oh shit. It's definitely worth watching those. I'm trying to find. There was something about the guy who produces those or directed them in the original Saw movies as well, who's made something new, and I cannot remember who the fuck it is.
Fuck, we both can't be on phones googling shit, so I'm gonna.
We can just step back from the mic.
We can just step back. Fuck, wasn't it? They don't call him. They don't give him a name, but he wears a kind of purple suit. It's kind of weird. He's got the hat kind of pulled down in front of his eyes with eye holes cut in it. Can't remember the name of the character. I think it might just be called the Demon.
Might be. It was something like the Jester.
Yeah.
That's what it was. It was actually the fact that the guy who's been directing and producing those films, The Conjuring and the Saw films, James Wan, is the guy who's doing Aquaman.
Yeah, he was offered. He was offered Cyborg. He was offered Flash. He was offered another Batman movie and Aquaman. He turned down all of them to make Aquaman.
Oh, right, okay.
So I think that's pretty cool.
It's a commitment to it. That's a very interesting one. But I did see that he, Cyborg has gone through the ringer with the Justice League movies.
Yeah.
And he's now appearing in another franchise.
Doom Patrol.
Yeah, and it's weird that there's already like another Cyborg character there, but they're also adding in him.
Yeah,
and he does not look good.
There's a fully robot dude played by Brendan Fraser.
Okay.
I think his name might actually be Mr. Robot, but he's played by Brendan Fraser.
Well, the version of him that I saw on like the quick trailer that you see for Doom Patrol looks like a bad cosplay. It looks like he's wearing a metallic T-shirt.
Yeah,
and then he's got the face thing as well.
The eyepiece looks horrible.
Yeah,
I hope they do. I think the last podcast this is something about Marvel using a bit too much CGI in their stuff. I think DC need to use a bit of CGI just to blend it all together.
Yeah,
just to kind of make it look like it's actually stuck onto the face, not it's just something stuck.
It does look like he's glued onto his head.
Yeah, it looks like it's like you said, it's a cosplay that he gets up before a convention and just sticks all this shit on his face. But as someone who did actually quite like Doom Patrol, the comic book as a premise,
yeah,
it's basically just Teen Titans, but they're not bound by any kind of code or anything like that. It's just, we've got a job to do, let's do whatever way we can. It's basically just a bunch of misfits.
Okay.
It was a pretty good premise, but it doesn't look like the CW or whoever it is that's picking it up. Really?
I think it's sci-fi.
It could be. Could very well be. But if it's over in the States, it'll probably be on DC's streaming channel. Because they have a thing just called DC Access or something.
Here it comes, the big streaming war between Disney.
Between Marvel.
Disney and everyone else.
Yeah.
It's not going to be pretty
I personally think Disney are going to run their streaming service for about 2 years, then just go right back to Netflix. I think people are going to look at it and go, oh, I've already got Disney Life for the kid. I've got Netflix for me. I'm not buying another Disney thing just to watch Daredevil. You know what? Fuck it. I'm just going to go back to watching Netflix. I don't think it's going to work as well as they want it to.
Yeah. I don't know how it's going to pan out, but I think with the Mouse's money, I'd be willing to bet that they can pull it off.
Yeah, probably. I mean, no one ever thought they could make Iron Man a convincing movie, and then here we are 11 years, sorry, 12 years after. No, it is 11 years. Because last year they did the whole 10 years. Because Iron Man came out in 2008. So here we are 11 years later. Iron Man is now pretty much leading the charge on the Avengers movies. Or the last big charge on his series, the Avengers movies anyway.
I've been trying to figure out what goes on now afterwards. And I think some of the younger guys stick around for a few more movies.
I personally think because Chris Hemsworth has stated that Endgame's his last Thor movie.
Yeah.
He's not picking up the mantle again. They'll probably recast or they'll just leave
it as is. They can use other Thors. They can use
Personally,
multiverse.
I think they leave it as is. Maybe not do any more Thor movies, but if they were to do another Thor movie, they'll probably do what they've done in the comics and make Thor female.
So recast.
Yeah. I think, to be fair, if they do it right, I think it'd be great. But in the comics, Thor currently, in fact, I think Thor is still female in the comics. She is what the hell's her name? Natalie Portman's character? Jane Foster.
Yeah.
She is the current version of Thor in the comic books.
Oh, that's nice.
Because through certain events, Thor Odinson becomes unworthy. The hammer travels to the next available person, Jane Foster, but she has cancer, and the hammer is fighting off the cancer as quick as it develops. But she's still, in late stages of cancer. There's not much that the hammer can do.
All right.
But she's still probably one of the more adept wielders of the hammer.
Hmm.
If they did something like that, it'd be fine. But Natalie Portman ain't coming back.
Yeah, that's a shame. I quite like her.
Yeah, she was a good balance to Thor.
Yeah.
But now that Thor's kind of more grounded and down to earth,
we don't really need her that much.
We don't really need her that much. But I still think they could do it really well.
She was good at holding his idiot hand for a while.
Yeah. When he was all just, I will throw my hammer into there and I'll fly and I'll beat up the bad thing.
What's your solution to this? Smash it with my hammer.
Hit it with a hammer.
What's the solution now? Smash it with my axe.
Yes. Smash it with the axe and disappear. But if they do the same thing, we're going to see. If they do the same thing in the comic books and they get in new characters to fill in that role, we're going to have a female Iron Man called Ironheart,
Okay.
which started off as a good character, but then she went into her own series. I think it might have been called The Runaways. No, that's the mutant thing. Well, she had her own series with Miles Morales as Spider-Man, Amadeus Cho as Smart Hulk, and a couple other characters, and she just was so underutilized, and she was more a social justice warrior than anything.
All right.
And it just thought, right, she was a good character when she was Iron Man. Or when she was Ironheart in her own sort of Iron Man series?
Yeah.
Because she had Tony Stark as her mentor. Because what happens is during certain events, I think it might have been during Civil War 2, when Iron Man is fighting Carol Danvers, Captain Marvel. Tony Stark gets his shit kicked in, and because he's Tony Stark and he's a fucking billionaire, can just back up his brain.
Okay.
You can just plug his head in via USB-C and just download his brain into the Stark computer network, and it basically takes that much a hit that Tony Stark's physical body basically has to be repaired, but he can still basically interact with things through this AI that has Tony Stark's brain. And
Okay.
Tony Stark mentors, I think her name is genuinely Riri Williams.
Riri Williams.
Riri Williams, a coloured woman. She made her own Iron Man armor when she was a MIT student.
Okay.
Michigan Institute of Technology student.
That makes sense, actually, because
Yeah.
that's who Iron Man would look for. Who would do this themselves.
And she was really good in that series, but then they ripped her out of there and went, nope, you're going to be in this series now, and we're going to underutilize you. And it's just... But again, if they did that in a Marvel movie, it could be fucking awesome. It could be great. It just needs to be handled right. The only problem with that is if Captain America leaves, we're getting the white wall that is Bucky playing Captain America. I genuinely think that the Winter Soldier is the worst character in the MCU.
I think he's interesting. I think they're not doing it right.
Yeah, they're not using it, because in Winter Soldier, that movie is probably one of the best Marvel movies there is.
Yeah.
Winter Soldier is a fucking amazing movie, and they used him kind of well. He had a reason for being stoic, but in this one he's just kind of, right, I'll show up and shoot a couple of things, but I'm going to say nothing. I'm going to interact with Steve. That's going to be it.
I'm here to help Steve. Other than that, fuck everyone here.
Then I'm going to disappear and I'm going to be underused. But if he was Captain America, I think he would. If he picked up the shield, I think he would. They'd probably use him a bit better, because they think, right, this is going to be the new Star Spangled Man. We need to do something with him.
I'm trying to
Cut
think.
his fucking hair while you're at it. His hair looks fucking horrible.
When Thanos snapped,
Yep.
would he lose his arm? If he'd been there and if he died, would he have lost
Winter
his
Soldier.
arm? Yeah, because it's not a living thing, is it?
Winter Soldier did that.
Oh, did he?
Yeah, because remember the bit in Infinity
I can't
War?
remember. It's been a while. Like,
Yeah,
I've
the only
stopped thinking about
the survivors of the snap were
the original
Iron Man-
Avengers.
the original trio, like Iron Man, Cap, Thor, Black Widow, Hawkeye, War Machine, Nebula,
Rocket.
Rocket Raccoon, and yeah, I think that was it. Everyone else kind of bit the big one.
The blue sister.
Nebula.
Yeah, Nebula.
The Wakandan general, Danai Gurira's character, I can't remember. She's the leader of the Dora Milaje.
All right, yeah.
I can't remember her name. Fucking cool character. But yeah, she survives. Not Wanda dies as well. I can't remember. I don't want to sit here and wax lyrical about Infinity War again, because listening back to some of the old episodes, we talk about it a lot.
It's a big movie.
Yeah, it's a fucking event.
Yeah.
And DC just aren't even...
They're not
combating
playing
it.
catch up.
Yeah. Although Aquaman is on track to make $1 billion,
Okay.
which is pretty good. It's good. It made more money than Ant-Man and the Wasp. It made more money than Captain America and Iron Man. So it's still not too bad. I've still to see it, but part of me thinks that the reason why quite a lot of people are going to see it is just that Jason Momoa spends half the movie and is just cutting about in a pair of jeans. He's topless for most of it, and I think that attracts the female demographic quite handily.
Yeah.
But then again, if you are of that mind, and you just think, I'm only watching this movie to see pretty people. Amber Heard's in the movie.
Yeah.
With red Ariel hair.
I did see that they're going for Batwoman with Ruby Rose in it.
Rose, yeah.
Yeah, they've agreed to do a second. I wonder why they're doing that.
Yeah. That's the thing.
Could it be
Batwoman-
having a supermodel jump around in a leather catsuit or
Yeah.
leather bodysuit?
Batwoman's a badass character. They need to do it right. I just think having Ruby Rose play Batwoman is more of a, we're being inclusive. Can she play this character? Fuck no, but she's here.
I've not seen it yet, but I saw it and I'm like, she looked really, like the angular way that she looks in certain comic books, and like just the face mask and the way everything's all kind of pointed down, she looks slightly sinister. And I think they've pulled that off with the costume itself.
I just think that they could have looked elsewhere for someone to play Batwoman, because if you look at The Flash, Grant Gustin was a relative unknown. No one really knew who the hell he was. Same with Stephen Amell, same with Melissa Benoist. Ruby Rose is fucking huge. She's pretty big in her own right. It seems to me that it's more of a just, we're being inclusive.
She's famous. You want to watch it?
She's famous. She's gender fluid. She's bisexual or lesbian. I can't remember. Just here's this character. Deal with it. It's not going. In my opinion, it's not going to be good.
Yeah, I'll probably try and watch a couple episodes and then forget about it.
Because I know my big series watch in the next couple of days is going to be Titans, because that's coming to Netflix.
Ooh.
So I will watch the full run of that, because I've only ever caught the first 2 episodes and thought, you know what, this isn't bad.
Yeah.
Robin plays a bit angsty, but it works because of where they are right now. But
that's when you said he'd earned it, when you were initially quite concerned about him being like, fuck Batman.
Yeah, fuck Batman, but he's kind of earned it. If you realise, if you watch it the first couple of episodes, you realise that Dick Grayson at this time is basically seeded from Batman, because you realise that at some point he wanted to be Batman, now he wants to be anything but Batman, he wants to be his own man, and him being basically used as a weapon by Batman, it's kind of fucked him up a little bit. And then when you see the other Robin coming in, Jason Todd, that just messes with his mind even more.
Yeah, I do quite like there's a sibling rivalry between different Robins.
Yeah,
they don't like each other very much, and there's a very much a kind of thing of like they're all not from like really stable households. So when Daddy, aka Batman, shows you some love, you just gonna go for it. Yeah,
but one thing they always do amongst the Robins is, because to my knowledge, in the current continuity, there's about 4 of the fuckers. There's Dick Grayson, Jason Todd, Tim Drake, and Damian Wayne. They all fucking hate each other, but the minute Dick Grayson walks into the room, they're all just like, we will be civil now, because Nightwing can kick our ass. Then even Damian Wayne's just, I was trained by the League of Assassins. My mother was one of the heirs to the League of Assassins. Circus Boy can still kick my ass. I'ma sit down now. Circus Boy was Batman. I'ma sit down.
He can out-edge me in any competition. My only thing I'm watching is, I talked to you about this, is trying to push through Sirius the Jaeger.
Yeah, you didn't sound enthused by it.
I'm pretty sure I've been trying this for at least 10 days. I think I actually talked about this in the last episode, and I'm pretty sure I wasn't
You did say that you were going to try and power through it for the last couple of episodes, but I've got a sense that you still haven't done that.
I still have 2 more episodes to go, and I just don't give a shit. I've told
maybe
people
what you need to do is you need to get another couple of these fucking champagne bottle-sized beers and just drink and burp your way through that.
I have bottled Jack Daniels up there. There was a full bottle last night, and that didn't help either.
But see, then you just get drowsy halfway through. It's just like, I don't want to fucking watch this. I want to go and throw pigeons at people.
Yeah, Red Dead Redemption.
Red Dead Redemption.
I want to do anything else other than this. I want to go shoot some pigeons. 2 seconds later, Red Dead Redemption. It was nice. My getaway from this has actually been one of my favourite anime sitting right there. Is Miss Kobayashi's Dragon Maid. It's the most weeb shit ever, but I fucking love it. It's literally, there's the tale of the mouse and the lion, where the mouse takes it's the biblical story of the mouse and the lion. Mouse pulls out the thorn
out the lion's paw.
Same thing, but scale it up to the mouse being a human woman and the lion being a dragon. And
okay. Is the dragon also female?
Yeah. Oh. Obviously. They have to have a lesbian relationship, Dom.
Okay.
It's anime. Come on. But they just have her say, well, they sit down and have drinks for a while afterwards and chat about life and stuff. And it's like, oh man, I really could do with a maid to help out around the house, because I work all the time, so I don't have time to do housework. So the dragon volunteers, and it gets progressively more and more silly, but the animation is phenomenal. It looks gorgeous, and the comedy in it's really fucking good. When they break out into a dodgeball fight that basically levels a chunk of the city,
nice,
awesome.
I'm always up for fights at level cities.
Yeah.
Or just random actions at level cities. Speaking of anime, did you watch the, I don't know if you can technically call it a trailer, but the One Punch Man sort of announcement?
For season 2?
Yeah.
Yeah. There's a lot of people...
Noticeable downgrade in animation?
Totally different studio.
Right,
it's not Madhouse.
Not a downgrade, but a noticeable shift.
It's a change, and it's the one thing that's been really pissing me off is that people are like, "It looks so bad, it looks so bad." It's still 4 months out.
Yeah, they'll polish it. They'll clean it up.
They'll be polished. It will be different. I don't say anything that looks bad. I've seen people complaining about the most banal shit, and I'm like, "Will you people just stay away from it and just let it be?"
Yeah.
If it's not the same, it doesn't take away from season 1.
Yeah, definitely.
Season 1 is still a fucking masterpiece. I've still got the Blu-rays somewhere.
Season 1 of One Punch Man, just the energy effects, the fights and stuff, particularly how just Saitama moves is fucking great.
The shifts between animation styles as well.
Yeah.
Like, yes, nobody is going to do this any better than Madhouse. But no, you can't have Madhouse. They're busy with other shit.
Yeah, they're busy making some shit.
Sadly, that's not Drifters season 2. So.
Well, that was Drifter.
Ooh, Drifters was good.
Sure.
Drifters was an anime where you had people from different points in history working together to fight a fantasy army.
All right.
So you had Nobunaga, one of the last feudal lords of Japan, and then one of the greatest samurai of Japan's history, and then from 400 years before any of that, there was a great ranger or a great scout person, and they all joined together to fight an army of evil goblins and stuff.
All right.
It's hilarious. It just and the bad guy's Jesus.
The bad guy's Jesus.
Yes,
I am in. Watching that when I go home.
There's this running theory of the people that are involved. They're all people who were betrayed or let down in the last days by humanity, and the people on the good side are the people who are trying to fight and redeem all life, because people make mistakes, but it's not up to them to punish them. But think about who was betrayed in their last days by humanity. Think about who might reasonably hold a grudge.
Who was put up on a cross? Who was stabbed with the spear, the Longinus spear?
And I heard the theory that it was Jesus, watching Fan Service, which is Roosty's anime podcast, and then somebody pointed out, "You ever see his hands? Nice big holes in those hands." And I went, "Oh shit." Who could be a mage? The son of God, maybe?
Possibly, perhaps.
Maybe. Yeah. Once you see, with that knowledge, it totally changes the way the show's going to go. Unfortunately, there has not been a season 2, but if you're a fan of Hellsing, if you've seen Hellsing, you like the animation style. Basically, very thick lines, sharp contrast, great gorgeous reds, which is good for a show with a ton of blood in it. Great fire effects as well, which is good because they set a lot of towns on fire.
As you do.
It's a legitimate tactic. I
suppose if you're angry at humanity, the best way to get back at humanity is...
Oh no, this is just as a military tactic. Nobunaga's pretty ruthless when it comes to his military tactics. So his idea of I need to flush out these people. You just burn the house down.
Sounds great.
He's legit strat, bro. He just sets fire at houses.
She starts pouring petrol all over people's houses.
Well, you should see the point when they get guns. They develop guns, and it shows you them making a peat mire, which is literally just decomposing bodies.
Oh.
They take the bodies from the first battle, chuck them in a salt pit, and let them corrode away.
Boil away. Yeah,
and they just let them form gunpowder, and they walk away. They come back later on, and they're like, get the salt peat's ready to make gunpowder or whatever. And you're like, okay, that
I was not expecting that when I turned on this anime.
This was slightly terrifying. Thank you for the horrific chemistry lesson. But no, you look with One Punch Man season 2, you're not getting a Madhouse back. Just take what you can get.
Yeah, I mean, it's still going to be good. It's still going to be the same people writing it. Fair enough, it might look slightly differently, but this animation house is going to do the business.
Yeah, if it was going to be horrible, it wouldn't be getting made.
Yeah, they wouldn't have been greenlit if it was going to be terrible.
No, especially not with something that's as kind of precious to the anime community as One Punch Man.
One Punch Man in my eyes always seemed like a resurgence of anime fans, because quite a few people that I know that didn't really watch anime were watching anime again because of One Punch Man, myself included.
Yeah.
Can we pause? I desperately need to piss.
Yeah, okay.
Welcome back to the Gibberpish podcast. We just took a quick technical break there so I could go and empty myself. That's what happens when you drink champagne fucking beer bottles. There's too goddamn much to drink in this damn thing. No, but we left on One Punch Man. One Punch Man was kind of the show that made everyone realise that anime can be
Goofy,
visually striking.
funny, yeah.
It can be visually striking and it can be funny.
Yeah.
And,
It doesn't have to take itself serious a lot of the time.
Yeah.
So one thing that frustrates me about certain geeky communities, not just anime, but just in general,
take yourself stupidly seriously.
dude, you're talking about cartoons here.
The worst example I've seen of that is people that play sort of Magic the Gathering. Magic the Gathering tournaments get very, very vitriolic.
Yeah.
And all I can think of is you're playing a card game that involves wizards and warlocks and magic and ogres and stuff. Calm down a bit.
Yeah.
It's fun.
The main magic here, kids, is friendship.
Exactly.
Okay, let's simmer down.
Y'all motherfuckers need friendship.
Y'all motherfuckers need. Considering a line of t-shirts right now, y'all motherfuckers need friendship.
If anyone could help us with the line of t-shirts, please message us at Gibberpish on Twitter. Gibberpish Podcast on Twitter.
Which is gibberpish.
Are we? Yeah, we weren't fighting for that name.
We didn't exactly have to fight for that at all. You want to talk about Into the Spider-Verse?
I did.
And I've been very keen to hear about this.
I did. It's a great movie.
Yeah.
It is. Personally, it's Spider-Man: Homecoming was great in a way that it showed you how a Spider-Man movie can be, how it strikes a balance between Peter's personal life and his job as Spider-Man. Fair enough. In Spider-Man: Homecoming, it was all about him trying to, carve his own path. But I can do as much as Iron Man does, that kind of thing. But it struck a good balance between kind of home and sort of the personal life and life of Spider-Man.
Which was the great part of the first Tobey Maguire Spider-Man movie. Was seeing him trying to figure it out.
Yeah. Into the Spider-Verse does that way better.
All right.
Because it shows the Miles Morales' struggle with, he's at a new school. He won a scholarship that he won a scholarship through basically. Well, he left his school, which is a kind of inner city school, and he went to a kind of, I think it was called Vision Academy, which
That isn't ominous at all.
yeah, but no, the academy has nothing to do with it. It's just that he won a scholarship to a very, very prestigious school, and there's all this kind of, he doesn't really feel like he's fitting in. You get all this kind of backstory. He doesn't really want to leave his friends at his other school, and there's kind of back and forth on that. When he's away from his parents, he turns to his uncle, and his uncle's a notorious criminal. So there's a lot of good sort of personal elements in that. Then you get the Spider-Man stuff when he gets bitten by the spider, and then something happens with that Earth's Peter Parker.
All right.
Events conspire, because I'm not going to spoil it. It's pretty cool.
Yeah.
It's not much of a spoiler, but
I've seen him looking pretty dishevelled and kind of out of it.
that's a different Peter Parker.
Oh.
Yeah, because then what happens?
Done.
Kingpin, his big plan is to set off a super collider.
Okay.
It seems like a bit of a rocket launcher to shoot a fly technique.
Right.
He's setting off a super collider so that he can try and bring his deceased wife and child back.
Just to be certain here, we're talking about a super collider as in the CERN super collider.
Yeah.
Okay.
As in he makes a super collider.
Right.
So yeah.
Gonna collide buses.
Yeah, he's just basically trying to collide different universes so he can find the one universe that has his wife and child in there.
Seems fair enough, I guess.
It's a bit of a heavy-handed tactic, but again, it's a comic book. Incidentally, Kingpin has the funniest fucking design you've ever seen in cartoons.
Yeah.
He's always drawn wearing a black suit.
Mm-hmm.
He just basically looks like someone took a massive square-shaped body and just stuck a head in the middle.
Right.
He just looks like a big, massive kind of Minecraft man with a tiny man's head. It looks funny.
How are the legs? Because right now,
his tiny little Dexter legs.
Oh, good. So we're basically talking about Gru with tiny legs here.
Yeah, pretty much. It's just like he's just this massive hulk of a man.
Fear me,
Pretty much.
for I have Gru legs.
But it's actually pretty cool. One of the better uses of the character, to be honest. But then the experiment goes wrong, and it basically opens up a breach in between the multiverses, and different Spider-Men come down. Okay. And they basically need to stop Kingpin's plan and get back to their own universes. And there's a different Spider-Man that comes in, Peter B. Parker from a different universe. A lot of people are saying that that's the Tobey Maguire universe because like all the scenes that you see him in where he's saying, right, here's my story, It's all him doing the weird dance from Spider-Man 3. It's him stopping the train from Spider-Man 2, doing the upside down kiss from Spider-Man 1. And people are just saying that, he's out in his luck, so it's just, right, that must be Tobey Maguire Spider-Man.
Weird enough, voiced by Elijah Wood for some reason.
Yeah, it was, what the hell was his name? Jake Johnson? From, I think he was in that show New Girl with Zoe Deschanel.
You've definitely lost me.
Yeah, I didn't know it. A friend told me. I just knew him as that guy that was in
Yeah, sure, Dom. Friend told you.
I love Zoe Deschanel, but I would never sit through a fucking episode of New Girl. I'll tell you that for fuck all. I'd rather drill holes in my bollocks. But no, all I remember this guy is he was in the first Jurassic World as that guy with the Jurassic Park t-shirt that has all the dinosaurs and stuff. That's all I remembered him from. But he does a pretty good job as Peter B. Parker. Then there's Penny Parker, who's Spider-Man from the Spider-Man manga universe.
Oh yeah, I did see something about there being like there's an anime version of it now. We can post Spider-Man memes in our anime memes community.
She has a psychic link with a spider that uses a giant robot.
Okay,
it's fucking awesome. Then there's Spider-Gwen, which is Gwen Stacy from a universe that.
Because he knows Gwen Stacy from school, doesn't he?
Yeah, but what happens?
But there's another version.
No, it's the same version. When the breach happened, when everyone kind of landed in Miles' version of New York, she was sent a week early, so she just kind of started to meld in with, like she went to school and stuff. But Gwen Stacy, also called Spider-Gwen, in her story, in the main sort of Peter Parker story, we all know about, she's fallen from the clock tower after Green Goblin basically drops her.
Yeah.
Spider-Man tries to save her, but he catches her centre mass, and the force from her jolting snaps her neck. The reverse happens.
I'm sorry, but when they did that scene in The Amazing Spider-Man, the Samuel Garfield ones, I found that funny. I don't know why. There was a scene of her hitting the floor, and I just laughed way too hard at it when it happened. And I still laugh at it now, and I don't know why.
It's not well shot. The Amazing Spider-Man 2, the Andrew Garfield movies, they're not good.
Yeah.
The Amazing Spider-Man 2 is bad.
I think it's the version I saw, I think it was because it was like Cinema Sins. It cut to black immediately afterwards, and it was like, ooh.
It's kind of a Family Guy moment where she's fade to black.
Oh, what could possibly go wrong? I'm sure he'll save her. He's going to save her, right? Oh God, he's going to have to save her now.
Smack.
Cut to black. Uh-oh.
But in this Gwen Stacy's universe, Spider-Man's the one, Peter Parker's the one that dies, but he doesn't become Spider-Man in this universe. He becomes Lizard. So it basically mutates too far. She lays the smack down, but ends up killing him in the process.
Right.
Because apparently mutation or something goes too far. I'm not too sure of the specifics of the Gwen Stacy story, but I think that's the gist of it. And then there's Spider-Man Noir, who's basically Spider-Man from the 1930s.
Yeah.
Voiced by Nicolas Cage. And he is just a fuck ton of fun in this movie. He is so
we got good Nicolas Cage.
We got Nicolas Cage on form. He knows he's meant to be playing a bit of a campier character, and he fucking plays it to the 11s.
Okay.
It's so much goddamn fun. Like, his whole stick of the thing is he can't see colours. Someone gives him a Rubik's Cube, and he's just going, it's grey. It's some kind of grey. Fucking brilliant.
All right.
It's actually got a pretty decent voice cast as well. There's Aunt May is voiced by an American actress called Lily Tomlin, who I thought, Jesus Christ,
I think
she's
I've heard
a
of her.
big name in comedy. Like, she used to tour, like, filling out stadiums and stuff with comedy tours back in the day. Very prolific female comedian.
Right.
And there's Kingpin is voiced by Liev Schreiber, the guy that played Sabretooth.
All right, yeah.
Obviously you've got Nick Cage, you've got there was someone else that stuck out to me, but I think it was just because I'd watched the guy there was a character called the Prowler who is Aaron Davis, who is Miles Morales' uncle.
Right.
You get the sense that he's been disowned because he's maybe in a bit some shady activities, but he's voiced by a guy called I'm going to butcher his name, so I'm not even going to fucking say it, but he played Cottonmouth in Luke Cage. I thought that's pretty cool. They're closing that loop. They're bringing him in for something else because, well, Luke Cage is going to be swept under the
You'd
carpet.
see somebody got work out of that.
Yeah. But it's a really good film. I'd highly recommend it. The animation is stunning.
Yeah.
They've done it. They've made it look like a comic book. So there's a couple of lagging bits. There's a couple of lines that maybe didn't really join up. There's what are known as Kirby dots all over the place.
All right,
And
yeah.
that was Jack Kirby's way of showing either empty space or energy. So if there's someone firing an energy blast, there was the Kirby dots to make it look like the energy was kind of like surging away.
It was a weird kind of texture and thing. I have seen the animation I've seen was from the Post Malone Sway Lee video for one of the songs they did for this.
Yeah.
I just I don't remember the name of it, but like they showed, like, they used just footage from that to tell the story, and I was like, that looks amazing.
Yeah. I think they've already cooperated that animation style because I think they want to use it again.
Good. I'll sign up for more of that.
And what I loved about this interpretation of Miles Morales more than anything else is that in the Ultimate Universe, when they introduced Miles Morales, he literally he was a kid that was bitten by a spider. He had no training, no mentoring. He just showed up. This is your new Spider-Man.
All right.
In my opinion, what they did in the Spider-Verse would have made him better if he showed up. He works alongside Peter Parker. He learns how to become the new Spider-Man. Then sadly, Peter Parker dies.
Yeah.
It's a better way to introduce Miles Morales because he's he's taking the mantle.
Yeah.
But in the Ultimate Universe, when Miles Morales was introduced, Peter Parker was already dead, and he just went, "I'm going to honor his name." Then, because he still wore the red and blue suit,
People were like, oh, Spider-Man's back.
people just went, "You're not Spider-Man. Why the fuck are you wearing that suit?"
All right.
And then he just kind of limped on from there. Then they finally realised how to use him, and it went well for them. But Into the Spider-Verse was definitely, I think, the best way to introduce Miles Morales without people just going, "Aye, this isn't right."
Hey.
Like, you need to
Fuck this. Yeah, but it gives you that good chance to do the Bat Family thing, where you have the senior hero mentoring junior heroes.
Yeah, and that is, I think, if you pull that off right in a comic book, it is fucking great to see. Yeah. The only series that I haven't really seen it done well is any Superman series when he's trying to mentor his son Jonathan Kent, because him and Lois Lane have a kid, and he's a main feature in the newer Superman books. Because Batman has Damian Wayne, and that's his kind of kid. Yeah. They need to have a super son in Jonathan Kent.
Yeah.
And Jonathan Kent is quite a lot of fun, but it's the same thing. Superman every so often just, right, I'm going to teach you how to use heat vision. Let's go and burn some crops and piss off your grandmother. And
it's just a weird thing for Superman ruins those superhero movies because he just shows up and saves it.
Yeah,
Can you imagine having that, but also the impatience of a child? You got to write that right.
Yeah. The way they've written Jonathan Kent is that kid's a saint.
Okay.
Yeah. He was raised in Kansas, so there's that kind of Kansas polite thing going on that they've introduced in Superman.
Yeah.
And he's basically been told by, he's been around Wonder Woman all his life, he's been around Batman all his life, he knows how to control his power. But the thing is, he's just the most bright and cheerful kid you've ever seen. And then when you put him next to Damian Wayne, who's just this kind of little ball of anger, it's pretty fucking funny to read, because there's a series, I think it might actually be called The Super Sons.
Yeah.
Or I don't think that's right. Actually, Super Sons, or I think it might be called like Son of the Bat or something like that, where Jonathan Kent pops up in. But just having the two of these two characters just play off each other is a lot of fun.
That's the idea.
Jonathan Kent slapping Damien in the back of the head and just going, like Damian Wayne just sitting there with dizzy spells going, "Jonathan, control your power." He's just, "Sorry, I'm going to go and burn my name into this wall."
That's the idea of they'll have little moments of like, "Oh, like what you listening to?" I'm listening to the American National Anthem on a loop for 10 hours. What are you listening to? Linkin Park.
What are you listening to, Damien? The Philharmonic Orchestra.
Dad bought it for me. What? The
CD?
A CD?
No, the orchestra.
The Gotham Philharmonic. They're not cheap, but they're good shit.
Wait, what does your dad work as? Oh, that's right. He owns a farm. My dad owns Gotham. So it's good to hear that Into the Spider-Verse is good. Really good. Well worth a watch. I think what, for my money, would have made it better was maybe a couple more scenes with the different Spider-Men in it.
All right.
Because they're not in it that much. I mean, he has conversations with Peter B. Parker, and he has conversations with Gwen Stacy, but Penny and the other Peter Parker and Spider-Ham. I forgot about Spider-Ham.
All right.
Voiced by... Oh, shit. What's the name of the comedian? Fuck it, I'll look it up later and I'll tell you.
Louis C.K.
It may as well be. And Spider-Ham, then they're in it for a couple of scenes, but they're not in it enough, in my opinion, because Spider-Ham and Spider-Man Noir are just fucking fun in this movie. And Penny's just this kind of cool character that pops up every so often, does a weird anime pose, then just fucks off. More scenes with them would have been cool, but I think ultimately it's about a good 8.5 out of 10 movie.
I've already seen that it's on sale for Blu-ray and DVD.
I think so. I think it was up on Amazon. Just get your pre-orders in soon, that kind of thing. But I
Yeah.
don't think it's actually out for.
Because I went and looked at it on Amazon. It didn't show me as like a pre-order thing. It just said ready to buy. Okay.
It might be on digital. It might be ready to
maybe.
buy, but I'm not sure.
I mean, I'll give it a go, but I'm not going to go... If I've got a Blu-ray coming, I'm not going to watch it through a streaming service.
Yeah.
I've totally noticed the difference between streaming quality and Blu-ray quality.
Yeah, it's the fact that the streaming quality could drop at any given moment, but if I have it on Blu-ray, it's just going to play constantly regardless of fucking internet connections.
I'm trying to think if we've had that issue recently. I think it might have been going back to watch something that I have on a DVD, and I gave it to somebody to borrow, and then like, oh yeah, it's on there. I want to see this one scene again. I went back. I think it might be in the Raid. I think it might be in that series. Actually, I've got another movie night coming up, so I'll be back to talk about some Indonesian horror films next time we're on.
Alright, cool.
There's a film called Sabrina that's on there that looks fucking nuts.
Do you know that is based on Sabrina the Teenage Witch?
No, this is not Sabrina,
Alright.
the Adventures of. That's the Chilling Adventures of Sabrina. I need to watch an episode of that, because if I do that, somebody I know is going to watch 3 episodes of My Hero Academia to make it up to me.
Right. The guy who plays Spider-Ham is a comedian called John Mulaney.
Oh shit, why do I know that name? You got a picture?
Yeah. That guy. He's got a few specials up on Netflix.
Oh, right. I think I've seen him in another movie. Can't remember what it is. Maybe I just think he's in The Hangover.
He does look like the kind
He
of guy.
does look like he's in The Hangover, doesn't he?
He's in Big Mouth.
Yeah.
And he was also in a TV show called Mulaney. Self-entitled.
Creative.
Yeah, you really burst the creative bank on that one, didn't you? Some bitch.
But no, the Sabrina movie that's on there is an Indonesian horror film about a demon that is inhabiting someone's body and a doll at the same time. I'm like, okay. But we saw the trailer for it, and there's people clinging to the outside of houses like like backwards. You know, there's a whole like bending over backwards pose from The Exorcist.
Yeah.
That on the outside of a building on like the 3rd story. So okay.
Fucking never catch me doing that shit, man.
So with that, and there's another film with Iko Uwais in it, the guy from The Raid. He's got, I can't remember what the hell it's called. I think it's like The Night Comes For Us or something. And I'm like, that looks brutal. And we're trying to pick a third film, and I think it might be Hardcore Henry. Trying to get it to be Hardcore Henry.
Oh, fuck. I always wanted to see that movie, but I could never track it down on Blu-ray or anything.
It's on Netflix.
It's on Netflix. I might watch it on Netflix because the whole first-person action movie
Yeah.
just looked great.
It's been there for like 3 weeks, and I keep saying I'm going to watch it now.
Yeah.
I am going to watch it. Honest, I will watch it this time. So I'll be back with more kind of quick reviews on that.
Now, Hardcore Henry, a few friends have said it's well worth a watch, so I need to get to watch it soon. But as I look at the recording timeline, I think it might be time to draw the show to a close. You, as usual, have your showstopper, sir?
Yeah, this time I'm going to present you with a mystery.
Okay.
This is one that I meant to bring up last week.
Is this some kind of escape room? Am I going to have to reach my hand into a Mikey pot of guts to get a key?
That's not Escape Room, Dom. That's Saw. That's a totally different thing.
That's Resident Evil 7.
I saw some Let's Plays of that. Oh, fucking hell.
Great game.
I don't know if I'd be able to sit and play that. Like, the actual act of forcing yourself into, like, pushing open that door when you know there's bad shit on the other side.
Yeah. There's a bit in Resident Evil 7 where one of the characters is screwing with you, and he says, "You want this key? Guess where it is?" And there's a photo of someone in there. And that basically is, right, you need to find this guy's body. You go down into the sort of meat cellar, and there's just this guy's body sitting there without a head. You have to reach your hand into his throat and then get the key.
Ugh.
If you play it with headphones on, you can hear the squelching and like there's just all the rubbing about.
I love that crystal clear Turtle Beach quality.
Yep, nasty.
I've been having a look at that Red Dead Redemption stuff. Weird, like, little sucking noises when my horse is going through mud, and I'm like, ooh, that's nice.
Nice.
So today's showstopper is the mystery of Ken McElroy. I'm assuming the name is McElroy. It's McElroy.
Yeah, it's McElroy.
So Ken.
Any relation? Is it Rory McIlroy, the golfer?
No. He died on July 10th, 1981.
Mm-hmm.
He was shot twice from different firearms while surrounded by a crowd of between 30 and 45 people from the main town, on the main street of the town that he lived in.
Mm-hmm.
what makes him an interesting mystery and a showstopper is the fact no one's ever been charged with his murder. He was murdered by a mob of people and no one has been charged. Basically, Ken McElroy was a dick beyond the fucking limits. He has been accused of, but never really charged with, dozens of crimes, including assault, child molestation, statutory rape, arson, hog and cattle rustling, and burglary. Apparently he's got about 21 indictments, but no convictions. Until he got into shit with a guy called Ernest Beauchamp, known as Beau, who he shot. Basically, he'd been in a feud. One of McElroy's son came into the shop, stole some candy. Beau said, "You fucking stole some candy." Detained the kid, got the candy back, sent him on his way. McElroy got mad at this, came back with a gun and threatened to shoot him in the back of the store, and he was actually let off the shotgun. The shotgun, he was threatening him with a gun. The gun went off. He shot the guy. Somehow, despite being shot in the throat, the guy survived and pressed charges.
Fuck.
Yeah. So this guy called Beau, he pressed charges, and McElroy was only actually convicted of the assault, not assault with a deadly weapon like a shotgun.
Yeah.
So McElroy has a ton of money lying around. Don't know where from. Probably not anywhere good. Yeah. But he paid bail and was allowed to just kind of go out on bail while he was going through the appeals process. Now, normally, you would kind of go home, see the wife and kids, one of your 10 kids, by the way, that you fathered with a number of different women.
Okay, starting to get the image that this guy's a real sleazebag.
Yeah, McElroy showed up with an M1 rifle.
Oh, fuck.
Yeah, you remember that from Call of Duty?
Oh, yeah.
The good old German popper.
Yep. The good old camel buster.
Yep. He showed up at the bar with an M1 grenade and with a bayonet, by the way. That was a little additional footnote that appeared.
Because you want to make sure that he's real dead.
Give him a couple pokes afterwards.
Yeah, just, hey kids, make sure he's dead with your handy bayonet.
So he threatens to kill Beau and then walks off. A couple people in the town see this and they go to the sheriff, and the sheriff says, "Look, form a neighbourhood watch to keep an eye on McElroy. You need to just sort this out, you need to monitor this, but I can't do shit until he does something." And then they discover that McElroy, and a day or two passes, McElroy's in the bar where he threatened to kill a guy, which makes me question the quality of the bar staff. How does that not get you barred?
Yeah. If you can threaten to kill someone and go back to that bar, surely there's more problems than just people threatening to kill other people in that bar.
Just another murder, threatened murder,
God, we have no profits. Just let him stay. He only killed 3 people.
Well, he's back in grabbing a couple of drinks. During this time, there was a town hall meeting to kind of discuss what was to be done with McElroy, to actually form this neighbourhood watch. They found out that he was at the bar getting drinks. Apparently, the police, the sheriff, was there to obviously oversee the meeting and make sure everything wasn't going to be a mob. And he tried to convince them. They found out that he was at the bar. He tries to convince them, guys, keep it civil, keep it fucking clean. They tell him to leave town and let them deal with it. They head out.
So what, they convinced the sheriff just to go take a few laps then?
Yeah, maybe go deal with something else somewhere not in town while we deal with this. They head to the bar with weapons to confront him. He actually gets out of the bar, just walks out with a 6-pack of beer that he bought from the bar. Didn't know that's the thing. Yeah. Gets into his truck, is sitting in his truck, and then the mob forms around him and they shoot him. I think there was but I can't actually see any solid numbers, but there's supposed to be about 15 shots put into the car. 2 of them hit McElroy. His wife was also in the car at the time. And the main reason this is known about is because the wife who was there when he died wasn't hit. She filed a lawsuit against the city for his wrongful death. She was trying to sue for $6 million. $6 million for life. Kind of legit highball on it. She settled it for $17,000. before she left to be with a husband.
That's just I'll take what I can get.
Like, you people murdered my husband. I'm leaving, but I'm taking all your money. How about some of the money? Okay.
How about something? Nah, it's better than nothing.
But since 1981, no one has admitted to actually firing the lethal shot. No one has actually taken the time to properly forensically investigate who fired the shot. And it has never been proven that any one of those people murdered that guy. And because everyone just agrees that guy was a dick and nobody wanted to like step up and take the blame for it, it's gone unsolved. It's a long-running mystery of who shot this guy. The mob that showed up to kill him was about 40 plus people. None of them, an entire town has just kept its mouth shut since 1981.
Nothing, officer.
That is an entire town that understands two things. One, stitches get stitches, and two, don't be a dick.
Yep, that town gets don't be a dick.
So they're our Gibberfish town of the week, I guess.
Yeah.
For murdering some guy.
For murdering a dick.
But yeah, that I just thought that was a very interesting mystery.
It's probably not the hardest one to solve, but I don't think anyone's going to be bothered to try and solve it.
It's a weird thing to think of. There were 46 suspects to one guy's murder. That's a huge fucking pool of people.
Yeah.
Like,
surely somebody would have cracked.
Yeah, but they haven't. But yeah, that's our Gibberfish showstopper.
Yeah.
So if you'd like to get in contact with us, follow us on Twitter at Gibberfish, or if you want to email us, well, let's try and get this one right, gibberpishpodcast@gmail.com.
Yeah, not .org like I thought it was.
.org.
We're not a government organisation.
Try and email that.
Yet.
We'll be the MI456, and then
we're going to be MI-1. We have no government clearance. We're barely affiliated with the government. They just tolerate us because we won't leave.
But yeah, if you want to get in contact with us, those are the ways to do it. And we will see you next time.